What's up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of the Sim Standard Podcast. And yes, the trio is here. Your eyes do not deceive you. 3 boxes, just like the thumbnail. 3 names: SimFBallCritic, Smitty, and Azure. Azure is in the building, guys, and definitely I'm going to allow him to speak to you guys in just a moment when we do our little round robins. But what's up, man? Just making sure we're live before I, get into it. Y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to talk Madden. That's pretty much all we're going to get into tonight. DJ81 as well will make a special appearance. So, DJ, if you're hearing this, we'll get you in a moment. And, yeah, man, we'll talk a little bit about what's been going on during the week. And other than that, we're going to dive right into that Madden talk. So, without further ado, let me throw it to Smitty. Smitty, how was your week? Anything you want to get into outside of the topic at hand?
Yeah, I'll just say real quick. I mean, week's been good. NBA playoffs were interesting, especially last night. I know you. I know you upset because
Y'all
that's
see,
crazy.
I don't have a Sixer hat on tonight.
What Philly did, but
we're gonna talk about it.
I'm shocked about the Jazz. I'm shocked about I figured they would have shut the door, but they basically dropped the ball on that. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he must have heard us talking about him last week. I was getting on him, man. I got on him and Giannis.
Yeah, but Giannis, see, you know what though? That game there, that last game, Giannis should have had that. The Bucks should have won that. Giannis, it's like he got all that swollen buffness for nothing.
That boy fumbled the ball away.
But see, now it shouldn't even have came to that though. At the end of the day, it shouldn't even came down to that play. Like if he just kept going to the 10 aggressively, there's no one on their team that could stop him. And he basically just got soft. He kept playing soft instead of just being aggressive the whole way. He would have had 50 if he just stayed aggressive. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. But this is crazy. I mean, it's crazy to be able to factually say that the Sixers are on the brink of elimination. That's absurd, bro. Like
it ain't. It ain't. I told you.
I wouldn't dare think that would be the case with those Sixers. Even with Ben Simmons' shortcomings, I still wouldn't have thought that would have been the case with the Sixers, man. There's too much talent. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy. But no, other than that, man, I ain't got nothing, man. Just ready to dive into it. You got it, man. That's it.
Man, yeah, I'm ready to get into it as well. Real quick, man. Round of applause to good brother Antoine there with the donation. With this software, we can actually throw you on the big screen. Appreciate that. He says, fellas, I'm not mad at all with Madden so far. Just saying. Hey, that's big praise coming from Antoine, folks.
Yeah.
Because if you guys remember, what one of his, a couple of his main concerns are. So it's good to hear guys like that say that they are impressed so far. And we're going to dive all the way into that. But real quick, man, the man of the hour, my good brother Azure is back in the building. AZ, man, tell the people how you doing, what's been popping, and anything you want to throw at us before we dive into Madden.
What's up to everybody, man? And I hope everybody's been doing well. These fellas been holding it down for the radio show. I've been doing the CFM thing and just been parenting, fathering. Happy early Father's Day to all the fathers out there who listen to us and still, get their game on as well. So I've been now my wife graduated. She's a doctor now. And then now I'm starting my master's program. So I hadn't even been able to jump on like I want to, but I had to. And since it's summertime and you guys know that I'm a teacher. So in the summertime, I have a little off time. So I had to jump on here with everything that was going on and what popped off with the reveal and the beta. So we're going to get it in, man, since I have time. But I appreciate the door always being open for me and people who reach out to me and ask me when I'm coming back and all that. But just know your boy is working on trying to come back full time and have this thing in full swing like we used to.
Yeah, man. The people miss you out there, man. And you already know the door is and we ain't even got to say it's open. The door, you got the keys. Come on, man. Y'all know AZ is one of the founding fathers of this thing. So
he got that blue Lambo.
Yeah,
that
man.
EA Lambo. You know what I'm saying? So
well, it's more like a Yukon Denali, blue Yukon Denali. I have to have room for the boys now.
Yeah. Oh man, we got another one. Appreciate that round of applause. Marvin Williams, he says, I think EA is moving in the right direction. Oh man, don't say that. Somebody already jumped on me today on Twitter. I didn't even say nothing. I just posted the video that I was putting out, and you said, let me guess. They're moving in the right direction. And I'm like, I just don't get that. But we're gonna get into that. But let me do my side comment really quick. Yeah, man. You know, week has been good. Like Smitty said, last night was just I might have got an ulcer last night watching that game. I'm dead serious. Man. I'm serious. I watched the first half. I was like, wow, we good. We going crazy. And then my wife, you know, she wanted to watch something really quick. And I said, all right, you know, no big deal. They up by at that time it was 72-49. So I'm like, oh, we good money. You know what I'm saying? I'll tune back in the fourth quarter. Man, when I look back at my phone, because we were still watching when we was watching, and I saw that the Hawks were within 2. No, I didn't say, oh, we're going to be. I said, oh, yeah, we're going to lose. I didn't even watch. I knew we were going to lose. I didn't want to see why. I didn't want to see anything. I just knew they were going to lose. And I've been said it. Look, I'm not upset because I'm a realist. I said it last week, and I've been saying it on the Steelers podcast. The Sixers ain't winning no championship this year. They not. I've already put that in my mind. So at this point, I'm just looking to see how far they go and when they're going to fall. No surprise to me. Now, I will agree with Smitty. It's the talent that they have acquired this season. I think, you know, it's more reason for you to have optimism. But I don't know, man. I never felt like, well, let me say this part. Remember, I kept saying that they weren't going to beat the Nets if the Nets was at full strength. And that's a crazy story. Looking at where they are, looking at what KD did. Oh, wow. Crazy. But I didn't think we would get past them anyway. So I was already kind of like, man, we ain't going to win no championship, even if we get to the conference finals. Now, I really don't believe it. You listen, man. Shout outs to Atlanta and Trae Young and, you know, Clint Capella and those guys. They play hard over there, but you cannot. How are you up by 26 in the third quarter? How? And lose? Like, how does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even you don't even have to shoot at the same percentage as the other team when you up by that much. Just score some, and you should be able to at least hold on tight to that lead and win by 6 or something. Ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
Just made a whole lot of people rich last night.
Oh man, you ain't lying.
Man, I didn't jump in on it, but they made a whole bunch of people rich.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But that's all. That's all I got. I'll keep watching. DJ, we're gonna get you on here in just a moment, man. Actually, I don't know if I still have it, DJ. So if you could do me a favor, shoot me a email. Shoot me your email address in Twitter, in the DMs, and then because I got to send you an email invite that way. Shout out to our good brother Twan, man. Thanks for the donation. He says, just saying that. Don't hate, laugh out loud. I'm having fun. Smooth as butter. All right, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. But all right, guys, hold on. You know what? DJ already sent me the email, so we might as well hold tight, man, until DJ get in here and we can dive into this beta. And what we will do, folks, is I guess we'll do, we'll keep the order of. I guess we'll throw it to maybe DJ and then Smitty and then Azure or something like that. We'll figure it out. But let's get him in here. But quick early thoughts, man. AZ or Smitty before we really get cracking. How do you feeling Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'll throw it to Smitty first. How you feeling about the reveal before we even get into the beta? How do you feel about everything that you've heard so far in regards to Madden 22, what we're supposedly hearing, what's coming in September in terms of like scouting and things like that? So what are your initial thoughts?
I'm definitely impressed with the information. I haven't dove into it yet. I'm gonna definitely reserve that for some of the weekend here, considering it's going to be Father's Day weekend. So I know things are going to be a little bit busy. So, but I am impressed. They look just like what my man, Mad Sci tweeted me a screenshot of something on a Trello board that we used to do as far as feedback back then. And a lot of the feedback points that we given over the years, like many different things. Did they hit everything? No. But these are key things that they gave us. How many times did we say on here, oh, if they just do coaching carousel? No, but they got to do more than coaching carousel. Oh, but what if they do? What if they give us the skill trees and everything? They got to give us more than the skill trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like there has to be a package. It can't just be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and then everything's okay. I definitely like from playing so far, I definitely am enjoying the noise levels with various events happening during the game.
Yeah.
That I'm noticing that. And I mean, I'm playing with the Lions, so it's like, okay, cool. And I'm not playing with the bigger team. So I definitely want to explore like playing with New Orleans, playing with Seattle. Like, I want to see how it is. Like, does it differ stadium by stadium? Like, those levels, hearing it. So that's something. But I like that in general. I like that. A big thing that I'm seeing, and I feel that it may be more of a progressive change, but wideout DB interactions. I mean, I'm sorry. Were you talking about gameplay stuff or just the written information?
Oh, wherever you want to go.
Just whatever. Okay, all right.
Go ahead and let it roll.
So I'm just saying, like, the wideout DB interaction play, I'm honestly liking if this is what they're trying to do, because they didn't emphasize. There's no gameplay deep dives and none of that stuff out there. So if what they're trying to do is make it where when they go up to for those catches, it's more of one animation versus the other, one catch animation versus the other, and then the limbs organically interact based upon body position and things like that. I'm liking where it's going so far. I spent time in practice mode, and just to give y'all an example, 2 quick examples of it. Throw up a pass. The DB came down with it, but when the pass came down, he caught it. But my receiver was there too, trying to catch it. And the thing is, when he caught it and brought the ball down, it hit off my guy's back, so he couldn't reel the pass in. So I looked in the replay and saw it, and I'm like, oh snap! So I like that. Had another instance, like some of the fellas off air, was through a pass. DB tried to come over top and try and make the play, try and catch, but his catch animation was deformed because my receiver's body was in the way. So he was boxed out basically. So it was like, it looked like he was more of trying to hug my receiver instead of being able to do this. It was like more like this because he was around his body, and then my receiver had the clean reception, pulled it in. You know what I'm saying? So like seeing those kind of instances happen, you still do have your 2-man instances occur, but it's like they're trying to make it look more of a organic light instance where it's just the DB and the wideout, 2 respective animations go for it, and then whoever is able to come down with it is who comes down with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll give those pluses. And then, like I said, just from an informational standpoint, the noise in the stadium and causing the squiggly lines on the field. That's what's up. Huge
composure.
I want to see, and see, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. I know they didn't say that, but I want to see that happen next. Have dynamic composure like we had on PS2 days, because I feel it was done best there. I know they had the what was it called in Madden 12? What they call it when they went hot and cold or whatever?
Dynamic player performance or something.
Yeah, that. Like
DDP.
having that, but I liked it better back on PS2 days, like, but still that kind of system where, dudes could come in, rookies can come in and not have that full composure. They could get rattled a lot easier, things like that. Their confidence goes up and down, their performance is hindered. All of it during the game, it can rise and fall. So I would love to see that be coupled with this the stadium ambiance reaction, the home field advantage mechanics. But all in all, I got to dive into everything else to really talk about it. But I like the potential of everything so far.
AZ, what are your initial thoughts, Mom? And wherever you want to go, but if you wanted to stick with just the reveal, that's cool as well. And then we'll throw it to DJ.
I'll be quick and succinct as I can, man. The cover reveal and all that, I figured that out, like, initially. They showed two ghosts. Right. Come on now. I mean, it has to be Brady and Mahomes, because that conversation, that discussion would already be going on in circles, in NFL circles, about how Mahomes trying to get past Brady and his career trajectory and all that kind of stuff. So that wasn't a surprise to me. I did like the details that were rolled out that they're going to be covering for the Gridiron Note. First and foremost, I was looking forward to I'm sorry. The first thing that I'm noticing playing the game is the momentum meter. Mm-hmm. And we already felt like the momentum meter momentum played a huge role in Madden 21. But now there's a meter that actually gauges it and gives you boost, according to certain plays that happen. And then you're kind of rewarded with certain, I don't want to say attributes, but certain things that help you. So let's just say I'm on the road. My team might have better blocking on the road if I'm doing well on the road and things like that. So I'm noticing that and how big of a factor that's playing. Some of my gripes are defenders still catch the ball entirely too much. I either need to see more swats or defenders swatting the ball down, because let's just be honest, everybody's not Deion Sanders, and I do hear that group that are very user friendly and user controlled. If I click on, I make I try to do it, this should happen. Not so much. Not if you have a player who can't catch. Right. So you had those instances to where I'm still seeing that way too much. And wide receivers dropping the ball, but defenders not dropping the ball, that's an issue to me. So it's some of the stuff that we continue to harp on as far as gameplay. But overall, I feel like, because I did not hate Madden 21 PS5, I didn't hate it. I mean, I actually liked it a little bit more than the PS4 version, just because of the player movement and how the routes were run. And I mean, there were some things here and there that they could have worked on, but no, man, it is going in the right direction, unfortunately, because people hate to hear those words. But I'm in a Madden user community, CFM community group on Facebook, and it's just people who play CFM. And this dude, he wrote, I promise you, at least 3 paragraphs on how upset he was about the stuff that they've added for CFM. But his gripe was he wanted gameplay to be the more focused. And I'm like, true enough, I hear you. And honestly, I feel like, why do we have to choose one over the other? Like,
right.
we at the point now. This is the 5th generation of consoles. If somebody said to us during PS1 or PS2, imagine what PS5 sports game is gonna look, feel, and be like, I don't think that we imagine the game we have in front of us, as far as the stuff that has carried over from year to year that hadn't been addressed. So we'll see, as it rolls along. But right now, I'm trying to keep the positive. But yeah, defenders catching the ball too much is still a huge gripe of mine so far.
Yeah, and real quick before we throw it to DJ, just to address one of the comments, Haitian Menace, you guys got to understand what Azure is saying. He's not saying he wants everybody to drop it. He's merely just saying that, I mean, listen, you got to understand we are extreme simulation guys. So sometimes
I'm just
what we say, yeah, go ahead, explain to him.
I'm not saying that if you click on and make a play, that play shouldn't be made. It shouldn't be made 100% of the time. And what you see is 100% of the time. I understand when guys are playing for money, that's a different situation. You know what I mean? But if I'm playing in a CFM, a simulation CFM, do defenders not drop the ball?
Yep.
Think of yourself. Think about the people who play defense on your favorite football team that have dropped picks. I mean, you could probably go in a highlight reel of dropped interceptions on YouTube and see the instance where a defender cannot catch the ball. If they are so good at catching the ball, why do they not play offense?
Ike Taylor would have been a Hall of Fame cornerback had he had some hands.
And I'm saying, you see it even like Madden, put some instances in there to where he's running with the ball and he drops it. How many times have you see a defender know he has an interception, takes off running, and he does have the ball secured away? That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Gameplay is not dynamic enough to put those type of moments in there. And that's what I want to see. I want dynamic football. I understand when dudes playing for money, that's a different situation. You playing for money, you click on, you make the play, that's you. But we ain't playing for money. CFM, simulation, 32-man CFM. The ratings need to come into play as well. You can't be having a dude out there with 30 catch rating catching the ball like he's Deion Sanders. That doesn't make sense. In that case, the ratings don't mean anything. I can try to 56 overall out there and play with a 99 overall against the 99 overall team. So the ratings have to mean something.
Facts. But yeah, that's all I had. It'll come back to me. DJ, what you got, man? Thoughts on the reveal, gameplay, wherever you want to take it. We got a lot of time. We can talk about whatever.
Okay, well, first of all, shout out to you guys, Sim, Smitty, Azure, welcome back. Thanks for having me on. Shout out to the folks that in chat, especially I see Schneid. I see he's in the chat, Sim Gaming Network, and what's up, Dre? I saw you earlier. But my thoughts on the reveal, I'm reserved when it comes to stuff like this. It kind of reminds me of how Madden 12 was revealed when they revealed all the different stadiums and the intros and the pregame activities. The fact that they, in another word, are saying we're working on living worlds with this reveal, talking about the super fan. And I think for me, it's always been about franchise mode. I know Smitty and I have gone back and forth at one point in time about which one's first, gameplay or if it's franchise. And, it is sad that we literally have these debates when the two go hand in hand when it's all said and done. But, I definitely want to look at what little bits I saw in the franchise mode. In that trailer, I had to actually blow it up and actually post it on Twitter. One of the things I've always cried about, always talked about, wear and tear. And the way they are announcing in franchise mode that when you are doing your practices are going to be conducted pretty much in a way like NBA 2K manages their practice. You can manage the intensity. You can manage, I think it's like full pads, half pads. I think Madden had that option before, like way back in the day. But the fact that you can, the larger the risk, the greater the rewards. You may get more XP, which I still hate that XP system. But if you do push them hard enough, they may get injured. And what I saw, and I had to freeze it, was that the offensive line had a stamina bar. And each individual player, whether it was on the line, quarterback, or what have you, just have to think further than what you saw in the trailer, had a line that you could see that looks like you can manage throughout the season. And keywords, manage players' health throughout the season, screamed out to me. So maybe it's wear and tear 1.0. I hope so. Hopefully we'll hear more about it on Monday, because I think that's when they have the franchise, all access. But other than that, the gameplay, let me see. I just secured an S yesterday. So yesterday was my first time playing Madden on next gen. And even before I even had the next gen version, yeah, I know. And I really didn't have many complaints about that. Yeah, that thing is small. It is
super small.
But it's comfortable though. But just a side note, I was actually against getting the S initially, but Sony, you guys are slipping. You had it easy, at least $400 from me if you just made one PS5 digital available. And nope, not jump through hula hoops.
Yeah,
went to Best Buy, picked that bad boy up. But anyway, I didn't really have any complaints about the gameplay, even from current gen. My sole purpose in Madden was about franchise mode. And yeah, I think as far as on paper, they look like they're following up on what they promised, because we know when it went from 20 to 21, that was that big lie that caused that outrage and it caused hashtags. So they need to keep this up, but they really need to start hitting the meat and potatoes of not just gameplay, but franchise mode as well. And it's going to be healthy for everybody, in all the other modes. So, the more we get the real stuff in the gameplay and the franchise mode, the more we're going to get everybody else, and everyone will be happy. So other than that, I'm just going to sit and wait until Monday before I give them flowers or anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And let me post this link here in the chat for you guys. If you haven't seen it already, this is Operational Sports Preview. They kind of go into a little more depth, because I guess there was some type of behind the scenes preview.
Yeah, there was a presentation. Yeah.
So a couple things that I could say. I did go into franchise mode and simmed a few games to see what it was all about, so I can confirm what DJ just said. It appears that it's progressive fatigue.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I even saw a setting in the league settings where it said progressive fatigue. So I think it is more so what DJ said. I think it's more of a wear and tear 1.0, because it's not like how 2K has it or how head coach had it, to where it was, this part of the body is getting, it's getting red. Be careful. So maybe, hopefully they go to that. But we've been asking for progressive fatigue. I mean, I just tweeted it a little while ago. I've been asking for it for years, but probably Shop has been asking for that longer than us. And it's finally there. I'll keep it short too, man. As far as the reveal, I just said last week on the show with Smitty, what they must do outside of anything else is they have to deliver on every aspect of that article that was posted last June. I think it was June, and they said this is what we're going to work on, and we're going to commit ourselves to franchise.
Yeah.
And I said they have to at least deliver that. If they don't deliver that, it's a fail. And according to what we're seeing here, they've done it. Now they're saying the scouting, I have the article here, it says the scouting sometime in September, there will be, I guess, the new scouting. From what I'm hearing, it's a completely overhauled system. I don't think it's going to resemble what's currently there. And that should be coming early September. And they say that that's the first of their live service updates. So it makes me wonder what else might they be doing in franchise mode going forward. But other than that, man, it's too early for me to say if I like or hate the game, I think I share the same sentiment that Azure had. I didn't think the game was so bad on, next gen as far as 21. 22 seems to be, feel better. I haven't played really the beta yet, so I can't really dive into it. I'm playing it now here on the show, but I will say this, though. I've seen some people that are disappointed or they didn't do this, they didn't do. We've been telling y'all, man, it's going to be a situation where we're seeing where are they progressing every year. It's not going to happen overnight. Like, we need to at least see this. We need to see them stick to, oh, okay, so y'all did give us the franchise stuff. Okay, now what are you going to do next time? Like, have we finally gotten the devs, not the devs, I keep saying devs, the execs to listen? And now the game might trend up. We'll see. Did I think they were going to do everything for Madden 22? No. We told y'all last week, listen, we've been in that building. Me, Azure, and Smitty, we knew as soon as this game launched on next gen, guess what that did? It shortened the cycle. I'm not giving it an excuse. We're just telling y'all how it works. This wasn't a full cycle, so I'm actually surprised that all of this got done, to be honest with you, because it didn't happen the last time.
Yeah.
That's true. It surely didn't happen the last time. It was a generation change.
Honestly, if you think about it, Florida has been wide open since the middle of the pandemic. So I believe it was very much possible of them getting this work done.
Oh, maybe. But I tell you something that maybe everybody don't know. They still at home. They're not in the office.
No. I'm just saying that, as far as the productivity portion of it, if they're still at home, they're still at home, but they could actually get a little bit more done than initially, because initially they had to finagle a few things in order to even get stuff at home.
Yeah, but see, I'm thinking, I didn't confirm, but they probably was still, when the consoles came on November, they probably didn't even start 22 until November-ish, maybe early October, possibly.
Usually it's December when they start to build stuff. They conceptualize usually in the fall. So
the game is done, I'm pretty sure now, close to it. Like with
before it coming out August.
Yeah, coming in August. And we gave y'all a little bit of this background last week. It's probably some new viewers tonight. For some of you guys that don't know, long story short, me, Smitty, and Azure has been connected to EA since 2012. I don't know how much now because we haven't been there in a couple years, but we know how the process works. By this point, what we're playing right now is not the final build. I know some people always make a joke about that, but it isn't. I would assume the beta is probably 2 to 3 builds behind. Not saying that they're not closer to being done now, but this beta was already put together. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to get feedback on, I wouldn't imagine seeing that changed until first title update. I don't think anything that we say now will impact the launch, possibly. But again, we're not seeing the launch build. So, with it coming out in August,
they posted gameplay.
Let's talk about that.
That was a large list.
That's crazy. I was surprised they did that.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you guys, man, just as a question, throw it to you first, Smitty. Does that concern you at all? And actually, hold on, let me get to the list and I'll read some of the things.
That's in fact, link that in the
let me do
chat
that
for the people to check out, because y'all need to, because I'm pretty sure some people are just eager to get the code and start playing, but check out the list of stuff too.
Check this out, guys. I want you guys to definitely look at that. The link is there in the chat. These are some of the things that they're saying to look out for during playtest. Known issues. And I'm not even going to talk about just franchise, but even just gameplay stuff. Expect late drops caused by defenders' contact on aggressive catches. Expect flat defenders to be slow to react to the flats in coverage. Most in-game highlights will not be functional. Who cares? Deep zones will not effectively cover sidelines, the back corner of the end zone. Deep zones will not effectively cover deep crossing routes. Throw out a sack adjustments will be incomplete on competitive style. I don't play on that style. No disrespect. I just don't. Jumping sideline catches will not always get the player's feet down in bounds. Expect broken hit stick tackles. Tuning is ongoing. Question marks will sometimes randomly hover over various players' heads during gameplay. I've actually seen that already. One of my defenders had the question mark, which actually is one of the dynamic game day things.
Yeah.
Like one of the modifiers, but I guess they're having issues with it, triggering at the wrong time. The first down augmented line on the field will not be functional. There are some issues with the DGD momentum meter. That's the dynamic game day momentum meter that Azure was talking about. It will not work right in Superstar KO and the yard. Doesn't matter because I don't play in those modes. Tendency gameplay UI will not be final. Some text in the build will not be accurate on these menus. That's just gameplay. And there's things with progression. There's things with commentary. There are things in Ultimate Team. There are things in the franchise hub. And there are also franchise staff and enhancement goal things. So throwing it to you first, Smitty. Does that first, are you appreciative that they shared that with us? And or does it concern you? And or here's the real question. Do you think that because they've already stated this, that these things will be addressed by launch? Being that they're saying, yeah, we know. Is that a way of telling us that it won't be this way when the game launches?
Well, from the internal knowledge standpoint, not necessarily. As a public consumer, yeah, you're telling me that you already know about it. Now, as a naive public consumer, that means that it better be fixed. You see what I'm saying? Because like a mechanic can tell you that something's wrong with your car. Yeah, something's wrong with that. Now, what you want to do about it, that's a whole nother thing. But see, a smart person is gonna, inquire and everything and find out some stuff. If you're telling me that you know about an issue, well, what's going to be done about it? Is this issue going to persist? Other thing, which was laughing a little bit about it too. I don't know if DJ was laughing at it as well. But as Sim was reading off those issues, these issues exist currently. Like these been in the game for years.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So to be like, say like, oh well, we're letting y'all know about it. Now, once again, when you look at the internal technicality stuff, we're the small crowd. So we'll be like, this has been going on for years. The casual people, they, that could be service to them. Because casual, oh man, hey, they look, they're telling us the problems up top. Oh wow, that's what's up. But from a beta standpoint here, if you're telling us that this is a problematic thing, I would seriously hope that it's going to be addressed. What I feel though is that for them to talk about it here, as much as competitive gamers, many people on forums and YouTube vids and everything have talked about these things, especially the deep zones. I feel that this is something that they are attacking and potentially will be able to get right either prior to or just after launch with that initial title update, the initial first month after launch title update or a few weeks or whatever. That's what I expect out of it. But I mean, it doesn't cut any slack. I do appreciate them being upfront because it's always been more of somebody finds out about it in the beta, or somebody finds out about it post launch, and then we're talking about, oh man, this is still messed up. Come on. See, now what they could technically say is, well, we did let y'all know about it on the front end. So we did let y'all know that this is an ongoing problem. So see, there's different, they created some wiggle room to be technical. But with them being the only game in the space too, and there's that card. So it's like that all goes into the sandwich, you know what I'm saying, between the slices of bread, so to speak. But I hope they fix. I hope they honestly will be able to fix things because, as we know, they have all kind a big old wall of bugs, issues, and everything. And there's only so much they're able to realistically be able to address as they have their title updates planned out accordingly prior to the game launching. So hopefully these kind of things that they're talking about here are things that since we already know about and are going to be fixed prior to launch, because they'll never go on public record like this and say, oh, this will be fixed. But hopefully they are. That's my main thing from it right there. But I appreciate them being upfront because they're going to lose no matter what. They're ice skating uphill no matter what they do. Yeah. But this is at least I can appreciate them being upfront with this. So,
AZ, what you think, man? Good that we see it, or kind of like what Smitty said, some of these things have been an issue for years. Like, how do you feel about the lengthy list of issues that's supposed to be well known in the beta?
If you've been playing Madden, you already know. Yeah. The issue is now you have individuals who might be fairly new to Madden. Like us as OG gamers, we have to consider there are kids now who didn't play the Maddens that we played. So they have a different perspective altogether on what Madden should be doing, how it feels, how it plays, all that. So it's different, you know what I mean? But as us, as OGs, we have a different perspective completely. So we know those issues have been there, need addressing. Tell me up front. Me, Smitty, Sim, and JD, shout out to JD, always had this philosophy of under promise, over deliver. Mm-hmm. So if you under promise something, but you over deliver on something, the customer usually comes out happy like that. So don't over promise me and then under deliver. Then you create an angry mom mentality, which we've seen in the past happen to Madden and happen with EA in general. Because it's always been a fight between marketing, development, executives. It's like they not all on one accord. And it's something that you see like when a football team, or let's just say, for instance, the head coach and the GM have different philosophies. Like that's not a football team that's going somewhere, because your personnel and how you think about how your team should play is totally different than if your GM is picking the wrong people in the draft for you. You're not going to be successful like that. So we've always seen this kind of struggle with marketing, development, and executives at EA. So I'm not surprised. Neither am I disappointed, because those issues have been known. I am interested to see what's coming down the pipeline with live services, because to me, the last maybe 4 or 5 years, we've gotten to a point to where we'll feel good about the beta. And we used to see this on Operation Sports before we were game changers. People who were like Shop would go down there and they would say, the game's looking good. And then by the time the game released to the public, people was pissed off. Mm-hmm. And they was like, this is not what we played. And we've tried to give y'all behind the curtain look at things from our perspective, that we always said there's different builds. Like you might have a franchise build that might not have any of the bells and whistles of presentation. Mm-hmm. And we would go down there and play that. And then when they merge those builds together, something happens. It creates bugs. Anybody who's in technology programming knows that. Then they have to find all these bugs that was created by merging those builds. So it's an ongoing process, but no, that stuff doesn't surprise me. And at this point, I'm just interested to see how are you going to mess up my CFM experience? Because we run a 32-man league. And if you messing with that, then you messing with the fabric of what we've started to enjoy. If it wasn't for Sim Standard Radio League, I would not be playing Madden at all, honestly. And I'm thinking about putting 2K down as well. And that's a shame because I missed out on some great, deep franchise play from 2K. But some of the stuff that they do, and y'all know I'm a primarily pro-am, my player, that turns me off. And I'm about done with them. So that's another topic, another show. But yeah.
DJ, what you think, man? Is it a good sign, bad sign for us that know that some of these things already exist? What can we expect at launch or post-launch?
Well, first of all, they better. At this point, they can't. They could maybe have a half misstep, but they can't have a full misstep like they had where they total boldface lie to everybody. They can't do that. So it's just like this is their first opportunity. First of many opportunities in this cycle to be just very transparent. Like, look, all this is broke. This is an old build. We're working on it. We always label our stuff work in progress. Do what you want with it. Because I'm sure they got blasted last year when they didn't have this list. Because I'm sure this list was not there last year. This list was longer than the franchise improvements list from last year. So, good on them. But as far as the launch is concerned, I would realistically say about 70%, maybe 75%. And this is on purpose. So they can have other stuff to fix later on because we all know how EA works. Fix a little bit just to get the horse going. And then feed the horse to keep it going, put the carrot in front of them, keep it going, and carry the horse across the finish line. So they're not going to completely have everything, solved by launch. You'll have like a playable game, especially with next gen, that you'll work with, and then we'll see what these updates and these patches do, because every year the problem is when an update launches, what's broke now? So absolutely going from passing to coverage, watching and listening to everybody last year, coverage, especially in Waikea, coverage issues, technical coverage issues. And it was just like, didn't they say, and in large part, they've done a good job working on it. I'm not going to say that they haven't, but I remember there was a while that was like, remember the deep zones you said you was going to work on when you was working on short zones, and you spent a little too much time on the short zones and you never addressed the deep safety zones. And apparently cover 3 works very well, too well. So I expect a clean, manageable launch, but it's going to be the patches and these updates. And also just a quick peek into what I also saw, because with the whole live services, I remember there was a movement in past Maddens to monetize franchise. And I feel like they kind of look like they're slipping one thing in there. Coaching points. That looks like that is a monetizable item from what I'm seeing, from looking at the different packages you can get as far as the Madden game is concerned, whether it's like the standard game, the MVP edition, and I guess the MVP is the top tier edition.
Yeah, I don't think it's monetized though, from what I saw
yet.
Yeah, maybe in the future, because I think from what it appears, just spoiler alert for some people that haven't seen it, I simmed to like week 5 and I was just looking to see what was happening. In the coaching tree thing and your staff, you have the ability to take these points and apply it to, for the head coach is different things, for the OC is different things, for the DC, and I forgot what the other one is, personnel.
It's like a
player personnel or something. Yeah.
Like that.
And you use those points to unlock, the different skills or what have you. And it's not monetized yet, but I see where DJ is going. It could easily be a situation where, hey, for $5 more, you could
see. And the funny thing is,
I mean?
that would affect the user leagues very much, because you're talking about now you're possibly could be down the line paying to have better coaches, which in real life that's what you kind of do, but you're getting an unfair advantage in this pay to play to win type of situation. But in this situation, it's like play to get better, because it's affecting the coaches, not the players.
Now you do have an option to have it turned off.
Good.
So
yeah,
as long
you can cut
as
it off.
Good.
I'm fine with it. Listen here, we pay for so many other ridiculous stuff. If Madden was on point with gameplay, and if it was the next gen football game that I expected it to be, I wouldn't have no problem paying for it. Because if you want to talk about monetization, then we need to be talking about 2K Sports, because
everybody's slipping up now.
Every corner of NBA 2K
slot machines.
Stop. That next thing you know, they're probably going to charge you to have sweat on your player. So,
what do you think the extra $10 was for?
Shout out to the NBA Live team that took on 2K without monetizing. So I give them credit for that. But yeah, man, if that was where it was supposed to be, I wouldn't care, because people, it is what it is now. Gaming is big business, but it's not where it's supposed to be. So don't you charge me a dadgum dime for nothing in this game yet. And that's why I don't play Ultimate Team.
That's right.
You and me both. I haven't touched that mode at all, ever.
It's interesting, man. It's a lot of little things that I want to talk about in regards to what's in this article. One thing I want to say really quick, and I wish I could show it, but of course, guys, in the beta, we can't show anything, But there's a piece in here that they talk about star-driven AI, right? I really want to know and really want to dive more into what that is, because I want to set this scene really quick and explain to you guys this play that I keep looking at. I have on replay. I'm in the nickel, playing with Seattle. Bobby Wagner, not playing with him. I'm letting him roam on his own, playing against the Patriots. They are in a trip set to the right, 3-by-1, and Kia, listen very close to this. 3-by-1, where the tight end is in line. So it's, kind of more so looks like just trips, but obviously the number 1 on this other side is the tight end. Running back was the eligible number 2. So the strong side is to the trips. That's where Bobby Wagner is. Like I said, I'm in nickel, 2 backers, 5 DBs. I run the play here, right? The lone corner on the trip side runs with the number 1. Number 1 is going vertical, so it's basically man to man. He runs with them. So look, Kia about to break us down on my analysis here. So let me know what's going on here, Kia. So the corner on the strip side, he runs with him. It's a straight street. He runs with him all the way. The nickel corner is lined up a little on the number 2, but not necessarily. Like, he's kind of on the outside of the hash. And number 2, he kind of goes vertical. He gets down the field about 8 yards, and then he does an out. So the nickel jumps to number 3. The number 3 goes to the flat. Now, the safety on this side also jumps to number 1. So he kind of plays the number 2 who's running it out, and then he releases him and he runs down the field with the number 1. So it's almost double coverage, but it's really not, because he reacts so late. I mean, he's literally like 6 yards away. Now, let me tell you what Bobby Wagner did. Bobby Wagner is reading the quarterback. He looks to his left, literally looks to his left. I guess he's recognizing what's going on there. He then sprints out and he chases the number 2. The number 2 converts his out. He goes to the sideline for a minute, and then he turns and comes back inside. And Bobby Wagner takes him all the way, turns around, and swats it. Now, my question is, what was he doing way out there? He literally comes to the line first. He starts from his stand, his stance. He approaches the line. He jumps in, maybe, let me count it, about 5 yards. Pauses, turns around, and then he shoots out there. I mean, he is on his horse all the way back. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to give you a better picture. They are on the 39. They're on my 39. Bobby Wagner is lined up on the, what yard line is this? The 33, right? He's standing even at the 33. He comes inside. He gets to about the 38. I was right, close to 5 yards. Turns around, and he is on his horse, and he runs all the way to the 20-yard line is where he makes the play. What is going on right there? My question is that the star-driven AI because he's a smart player to where he's recognizing what's happening, or is this a broken coverage? Because again, go ahead. What you said, Smith?
No, I was just going to say.
Which third guy?
In the trips.
All right. So, yeah, let me tell you again what they're doing. So I'm going to turn it around to the defense. So right now, we have the outside corner. He's lined up over number 1. My slot corner is he's kind of lined up on the inside shoulder of the number 2, and the number 3 is uncovered. Safety is head up on him, but he's 12 yards off the ball. Number 3 immediately screams. Number 3. The number 3 receiver, who's the closest to the inside, streams out to the flat. My nickel takes him. So now the number 2 receiver is free. He's coming at the safety. Then he runs the out. He runs about a 9-yard out. Safety has him for a second. Then he releases him. And now he runs down the field with the number 1, and he's trailing the number 1 and the number 1 corner by 5-6 yards at least. Number 2 is all alone. Like the number 2 is literally just sitting on the sideline. But here comes Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner's like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" I'm acting like he knows what he's doing. And he turns around, and he is booking it. Cam decides to throw it. Bobby Wagner turns back around, swats it. I didn't click on him. It's all CPU. So what in the world is happening right there?
Cam threw the ball, so we already know we got some issues going on there. It looked like Wagner picked the right person. In that's what I initially thought, that he picked the right person, because the furthest receiver is double team, like you mentioned, by eventually the safety in the corner who's right there with him, and then the guy doing the out pretty much was the safety had him covered, but then
he let him go. And like Kia said,
gone already.
The nickel is supposed to take the flat, so it was perfect. So yeah, and it just makes me wonder. And this is Jamal Adams. Should he had stayed on the number 2, or should he peeled off?
Ooh, you got 2 superstars to worry about.
2 superstars.
Ooh,
and what made Bobby Wagner run out? Like the dude ran again, man. This dude ran like 15 yards just to get out there to cover that guy.
Who was the corner?
The corner is Flowers.
I wonder if he's recognizing who's his personnel and understanding that somebody's not going to be able to take that.
Well, I think he did right. And number 1 went on a streak, so he stayed with him. He just carried him all the way down the field.
But if the safety picks him up, even though it becomes a bracket type double team down the situation down the field, at some point the safety has over top. The corner is either in trail, or at some point that corner's like, wait.
It was cover 6, Kia. It's cover 6. I meant to say that earlier. Maybe I didn't. But it's cover 6.
Yeah, because you said it was like man. I was like, whoa.
Oh no, yeah. See, I messed up then.
Yeah,
it's cover 6. That's cover 6 out of the nickel. And again, just to set it up for anybody else who may have came in here, just trips right from the offensive perspective, but obviously left for the defense. I have the corner on the number 1, right over top of him. He's off the ball about 7 yards. The nickel's a little closer up, playing the inside shoulder of the number 2. He does jump him. Well, no, he jumps to number 3, because the number 3 goes right out to the flat. So the nickel takes him, which he should. That leaves the number 2. He comes down the field about 10 yards, then goes into an out. Jamal Adams has him, carries him, and then he releases him. And he turns, and he now is chasing the number 1 and the outside corner. Right? Bobby Wagner, for whatever reason, he recognizes I guess he's reading Cam's eyes, and he turns around and notices this guy's open. Remember, Bobby Wagner is the inside backer, one of the inside backers, but he's to the strong side. And he runs all the way out to the sideline to get a PBU. He runs literally from the 37 as he turns around, hightailing it. He runs all the way to the 20 and gets a PBU. Kia says quarter special check to the trip side. QB takes number 1 man to man. Nickel plays flat. Safety plays number 2. Wagner should have taken the first inside. Now there was nobody who came inside. Not at all.
That was one question that popped up in there. Was there anyone initially threatening Wagner's area?
No threat inside. The backside backer takes. Well, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he's kind of hovering in that 3 rec range because the tight end is coming at him. Backside corner takes the running back out of the backfield. There's nobody close to Wagner as far as going inside. So I'm just wondering, is that by design, or did he just make a heck of a play, recognizing that, like me and Smitty and Azure have always said, is he just not covering grass? And he realized, whoa, there's somebody I can go get. I don't know.
No, covering grass still happens plenty in the game. So it's not.
Yeah,
so that could be a bugged issue, or it could be he
becomes a free man thing. Essentially. That's what I'm saying. So he essentially he's roaming. So I want to know, is this that star-driven AI that they talk about?
Right. That's what I'm about to say. This could be just like what I was talking about with the catching thing. This could be more like a year 1 kind of thing where it's topping. You know how they always did with NBA 2K. First, they captured just the superstars and the star players. Then they did rookies and average players, role players, and etc. So it's like this could be the star guys that get that dynamic treatment.
I'm going to test this too.
They turn around.
To take a note. I'm going to test this in 21.
Okay. All right. And then they do stuff like, next year, star players and maybe some rookies or, whatever criteria they go by. But still, it'll be something that it branches out from being just a superstar thing. And now you're seeing people make plays actually being aware of what is going on. Like we've talked about in the studio in the past about players being aware of each other and the distancing and things like that, like what's going on literally in that situation.
I'm waiting.
That's what it looked like.
Wow moments.
You said what?
I said I'm waiting to have those type of wow moments.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you played NBA 2K or maybe even something like NHL or
MLB? Give me some wow
replay
moments.
And thought about what is happening right here, or wow, look how this player assesses what's going on and his reaction to it.
Yep.
I hate to beat the dead horse, but if you fired up All Pro Football 2K8, you would have those instances to where it would stop you and say, wow, what is the player reading right here? What is the situation? Look how he reacts. And we seldom have those moments in Madden to where I have a moment to like, why the hell didn't this blocker pick up this dude who just screamed right across his face? So, I'm waiting to have those moments in Madden. I haven't had them yet, but hopefully, we'll see what happens. Like I said, to me, the beta, like has been said, is a build that they probably worked on, and it's probably 2 to 3 weeks old, and they've done some more improvements on it. So I'm gonna take it for what it's worth. But I'm waiting to have those moments in Madden.
Man, and it's I really hope it's with Kia, DSK 757. Shout outs to you guys. I'm really hoping this is exactly what you guys are saying, and I'm gonna read 757's comment. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is what I'm hoping. He says exactly. You supposed to do a check for the first threat. There wasn't one. He low-key looked back outside and he got on his damn horse and tried to make a play. That's what he did. And I'm hoping that really happens. I hope this wasn't just a fluke or it was really the coverage was blown, but it made it look, you know what I mean?
Sim, you still in that replay?
Nah, I'm out of it now.
Wait, can you go back into it though?
Yeah, do they have the highlights you can go back to?
Let me see if they considered that a highlight. Y'all know Madden though.
Yeah.
Another thing 2K Sports does, by the way. You can go look at every play post game. I'm just saying.
Since PS2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Let me see if it's still there. Highlight.
Yeah, because
all I'm saying. I know we
I might have to wait till after the game. I don't see it.
Oh, really?
The pause menu.
Because what I was gonna say was, I would cap it. Let the devs know about that. Even if you don't, you know how we do. But I will let the devs know about that and be like, yo, is this, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is this one of those kind of instances, or is this a bug? Because we had some plays happen where it's legit football, and they say, "Oh, that was a bug." Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, this is like what I'm seeing from the dialogue here. It looks like a legit play, and it may mess around and be like, "Oh yeah, that's a bug. That's not what's supposed to happen." But we're like, dude, but that's what's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, so. If it is, then sweet. And like you're going to experiment within 21 and everything, but
I'm going to try to set that scenario and see what happens.
See if it do it. Yeah.
Let me see. So sticking with the theme of a few of these features, and if you like me, I haven't had a chance to really dive in. But starting with you, Smitty, man, how do you feel about this dynamic game day stuff? Where it's supposed to, let me see if I can find a quick paragraph for the people that don't know. To read here. It says, dynamic game day does not just stop there. Well, y'all wouldn't know what the there is because I didn't read that. It says, I'll just read the top part. It says, every year there seems to be a new highlighted buzzword for Madden. This is, you know what? That's Operation Sports. Let me get to Madden's. You know what? I'm doing all this reading. I could just put it on the screen, right?
I know, right?
Oh yeah, you pull up the page.
I could just do that, but I don't know if they can see it. But let me do that really quick. Hold on, folks.
Old habits.
Let me see. Share.
Hopefully nobody drops out.
Yeah, true that. Where is it? Bada boom, bang. We still on? There we go.
Yeah,
there we go.
For me, I'm behind the mic.
Oh yeah.
DJ I'm good. I already know how to. Oh, why'd you? I know how to adapt to these situations. I get used to it all the time.
So there it is, folks. I can read this quick piece. Dynamic Game Day. It says, for the first time ever, you can experience Dynamic Game Day, a new feature that will impact gameplay across every mode in this year's game, making the thrills and unpredictability of the NFL come to life. Okay, we'll see. Next gen stats, star-driven AI, and game day atmosphere, which we'll dive into below. Make up a dynamic game day, combining the power of next gen technology, real-world player data, and the enhanced AI helps deliver the most emotionally driven and interactive. I was about to say interactive, Jesus. And driven and interactive gameplay yet. There's one piece I wanted to reference, though, if I can find it. Right here. Then I'll throw it to you, Smitty. It says, every team and every player you know and love will be more true to life with next-gen stats, star-driven AI. It's going to change AI behavior and the team tendencies based on the real world data over the course of the NFL season. With redesigned next-gen player movement 2.0, players will blitz, scramble, and break tackles during gameplay based on their real-world next-gen stats data. That is interesting. So what do you think about that, Smitty, that component, as well as the fact that it, like Azure kind of mentioned it, early on, it does appear to be momentum, home field advantage, disadvantages of being on the road. I saw something where it said the kickers could struggle in certain areas and stamina, could be affected in Denver and things like that. So how do you feel about those type of things finally being in the Madden product?
I like the concept of it. I was playing with the Lions earlier. I forgot what the ability was, but it's like they have two different abilities of their own in a home field. Now I don't know what it's like in an away game, but playing on a home field though, they have their specific advantages that will help them as well as mess things up for the opponent too. So I do like it. And what I really like the most about it is how you're getting reactions off of all the events that happen on the field. So quarterback sack, you hear something, get a first down, get a big gain, things like that. They make a big play against you. You see the momentum meter, can swing back and forth. It really depends upon what kind of event is going on. So, excuse me. But I mean, I like it. It's nice to finally see them do this or something along this line, because I remember, we said it many times on here, FIFA. I mean, how the crowd swells up.
Yeah.
NHL, DJ has shared plenty of clips on Twitter and even streamed it and everything in the past. And, you hit a game tying goal or whatever, and, they have the arena do that little shake, like, because the pop from the crowd go as everything jumping. And it's like, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. Like, and we didn't have it in Madden happening for all this time. So it's like to see them finally going along that line and bringing us that kind of element. I like it. Plus this is pulling from NCAA with having that momentum. So I love that they're finally, incorporating this stuff. So yeah, it's like what was being said earlier, they're doing things in the right direction. I know that's not the popular thing to say regarding any product of EA's, but the fact of the matter is that they're doing. So I just want to say this real quick. I know you said this earlier, but like when EA is doing something that we want to see happen, I'm not going to get mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted it. That's the whole point of us going to the studio. That's the whole point of shows like First and Frame Rates and us and other people doing streams and putting blog posts up and all that stuff. We make our points because we feel there's an issue or there's a problem with the game. Yeah, we want to see it rectified so we can be more positive. We can have a more positive experience with the game. Not to just the positive thing to do is to bash it. No, that's not the end goal. Like, that's not what I want to do all day. All due respect to you, Angry Joe. You put out a rant video, man. And all due respect to you, but if you take a look at it, EA's revenue has only risen year after year after year as you keep doing these rants. So you see, your arguments people are hearing you, but they're hearing you while they're going on Twitter trying to get a beta code. You see what I'm saying? They try to get on this game. Nah, man, I gotta play that game. Man, Joe, I'm with you all the way. And let me get one of them beta codes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going on at the end of the day, man. They still are gonna play it. So the thing is just letting these cats know, see what they can do. Look, I'll tell you, I know I didn't say it yet, but I'll say it now. The past trajectories, it's like they did a little bit of work on it. but they didn't do nearly enough work on it.
It still ain't
you know what
where
I'm saying?
it should be.
2K still has the best pass placement. So it's like it's another year of 2K still being the champ with that. So that's something they need to get to, but I still can also see the other step they're doing. And even though what AZ said earlier, I meant to chime in on that as well. These DBs being Deion Sanders like they all of a sudden become better receivers than your guys. They know the perfect angle to take to undercut you, to get there. Like even on the deep balls, they know exactly where to run under, get in front of, snatching it. Almost every time they're coming down with that reception, it's like, dude, they shouldn't be coming down with it. Ain't nobody that dang on good. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the secondary. So yeah, that's stuff they need to rectify. But to the question at hand, I do like this is once again a good element in a positive way. It doesn't feel like some filler. It's actually lending towards the key two words we always say on this show: authentic replication. And that's exactly what this kind of element is lending toward. I got to experiment with it more and see how it is in other stadiums. But, because they did say they captured the audio from these guys in studio. Yeah, I know, that's weird. But if they captured these different stadium sounds, respectively from Detroit to Chicago to how it is with Pittsburgh, how it is with the Skins. Man. If they got it like that would be sweet, because I can really appreciate that. So we'll see, and then that'll be like they're taking that road of like what FIFA has done and what NHL has done. So it'll be about time,
AZ, hold on, let's get him back in here.
Yeah, fell off. There he is.
There you go. AZ, what you got, man? We were talking about what? I forgot. Just that
the game day.
The momentum, dynamic game day. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on the idea of it? I know we haven't played the game that long, but I don't know if he's in. Let's see. Let's try the other one.
You hear me? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's breaking up a little bit. Oh, okay.
Oh, you in the rolls. Okay, gotcha.
No Wi-Fi in there?
But you were asking about the game day?
Yeah, how you feel about the dynamic game day from what you've seen so far and just the idea of it?
The idea of it is pretty cool. I like the fact that you have advantages or disadvantages, however you want to look at it. We all know that Chicago was windy, that Denver, high altitude will affect your players' fatigue. It's a real thing. That's something that actually happened. Seattle is. Those are things that we've had for in the past, and I'm glad to see it implemented. As long as it's, you know what I'm saying, I'm fine with it. But yeah, man, I like the addition of it because it's something that we've asked for, and they do have advantages. So I like it. I'm looking forward to diving deeper with it.
Yeah,
coming up in
definitely.
Week.
DJ, what you got on it, DJ? How you feel about the idea of it? I don't know if you had a chance. I don't even know if you've played the beta or not.
No, I haven't. I don't have a beta code.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, what are your thoughts on just what's being presented, what they're saying, what it does, and how it's supposed to work, just on the on-paper version? What does it sound like to you?
Well, it sounds like they're finally going to work on presentation and make it, because I've always had a question about how they have been handling their presentation. Is it a TV broadcast? Is it an in-your-face, over-the-top element like it is in NHL right now? Because NHL went away from the NBC CSN package to do their own thing. And this is Madden doing their own thing once again. I know that you have the presentation before the game, as the game is playing. Are there still going to be stuff going on in the cutscenes that have always been going on, like the players being the same height and whatnot? Are we going to... I'm like, and what could they possibly record that could amplify a full stadium sound when there was virtually nobody in the stands? So I wondered, the sound quality is going to be, I'm lowering my expectations for the sound quality of this, because it's just like, if you went to these stadiums to get this atmosphere recorded, took notes on, you only have like 25%, maybe 30% of the crowd to really gauge from. I'm like, they said Seattle, they're going to do the thing that everybody accuses Atlanta of doing, piping in sound with the 12th man. And then I know Denver was the whole fatigue thing. Does it affect the Denver players as well? Probably not as much. Or does overall playing in Denver affect fatigue for everybody, not just the visiting team? It would affect the visiting team more, obviously. I don't think Washington has a home field advantage. I think that thing would be more or less, there are more visiting fans in the stands or stuff like that. Hopefully not after this season, but we'll see how that goes. But it just leaves me questions. What's that?
We have to Pittsburgh. You have a game against the Steelers, you're more than likely going to see more Steelers fans if your team
that
show
is
up.
true.
So I'd like to see that added in too. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say the Titans, for instance. Titans play the Steelers. Titans not having a good year. The Titans, the Titan Stadium has more black and gold than it does Titans color. Like that kind of dynamic stuff that we've been asked, like that should be added in too. I mean, I know not this year, but that's something that they can look into too.
Well, if you think about it, NHL has a thing. They have the fan base type. We can go from casual, hardcore, and it affects attendance. I'm like, this is things that are in NHL's franchise mode, along with coaching carousel, which Madden just finally put in the game. But having a fan base type affects attendance, affects whether they travel with you, your national brand, and so on. So I would hope that Steelers, their thing is that when they play road games, that they have a large attendance of fans that travel with them. Obviously, it's going to be smaller the further away from the East Coast they go, but I would see that being a thing eventually if it's not in there. Well, I wouldn't expect it to be in there right out the gate, but something eventually, because you're talking about you're focusing the fan experience on the super fan. They showed the clip of people painted up and drenched in because it was raining or whatnot, but they're
I saw some nice cuts of those.
Right. So if you're gonna in NHL, they have those super fans in there. So they've been looking at NHL. They've been looking at probably some of us posting about the crowd. And it was like, you know what? We're on next gen. We need to get in on this because we've been missing out, or So my main question has to do with the presentation aspect of it. Is it going to be more of a television broadcast, or we're going to continue to get the hybrid in your face with really no option to, pick between the two like you do in MLB The Show? MLB The Show, you can pick the television broadcast, or you can pick hybrid, or you can pick like fast pace. So that's my main thing.
It doesn't look like presentation has changed. I mean, there looks like there's a couple extra things added, but for the most part, the beginning is the same as far as like when they introduced the quarterback and some of the cutscenes. There are more cutscenes. I've seen quite a few of the new crowd interactions, and as far as how they look, I saw an animation earlier where we did something. We got a big first down, and players on the sideline stood on the bench, and they was hyping the crowd, like little stuff like that. But it's still, and I'm kind of right there with you. It still has that Madden 21 presentation feel with additional elements, where I was hoping for at some point a totally different, a new look. Like you said, you referenced it earlier. Like, remember when Madden 12 hit? And we was like, oh, that's different. I want one of those feelings to happen. We haven't had that in a long time. But as far as my point on the dynamic part, I do like the idea of the momentum, because I was reading some things from other people's experiences. They're saying that there's times where you can't call an audible. And I love that. I just need to see how is this going to play out. How does it affect ratings? Does it start to feel cheesy? I hope not. I hope they really put some thought into it and it's really affecting the gameplay in a natural way, as natural as it can be with it being a video game. But I hope it's just not a cheesy thing, like the abilities. And I don't want to say all of the abilities are cheesy, but what I mean by cheesy is like sometimes it just happens, oh, he's about to get in the zone, and I hope it's not one of them type things. I hope they got it a little more balanced to where the scenario that you're in matches the modifier and stuff like that. So we'll see. I like the idea though, man. I want to see, how it pans out and where they go with it.
But see, the key thing that, even with piggybacking off what you're saying, Sim, is that hopefully they're allowed to innovate in that way, because that's the key thing. That's it. If they're not allowed, they may have to do it. They may have had to do it one way because they're not allowed to do it another. I mean, it's funny and sad at the same time, because it's like you hire these people in to make the game great, but you got to actually let them do it. You know what I'm saying? And when you don't let them do it, like Sim, we talking about these NCAA elements, but Kobe, what he talked about was 50 times greater than what this is. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, they had him regulated to just doing UI, and that's it. So it's like, but if you actually let these people do their jobs and you let them work, that's what I'm saying. You got to let him do it. If y'all let them do it, then yeah, it'd be amazing. Like, who knows what they'll do some stuff that will blow our minds, but they got to let them do it. So, like, it sucks,
About to say, and then, you'll have like a random, well, I wouldn't call this person random, then you'll have another person working on the game, like Scott OG, just out of nowhere is working on the franchise. It's just like, and I'm not saying he's working on the franchise. Make that clear. I'm just saying, because remember when
person frame rates insight, you know what I'm saying?
Because remember when they instituted Frostbite, they pulled pretty much half the squad over to, and some of them working on NBA Live, and that proved costly to the development of Madden that year. So, never know.
And what's funny, staying with that theme is a name that I noticed here. That's the creative director, Smitty. Connor Dugan is the creative director.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And for those of you that don't know, Connor was always heavily well-known, big time in NBA Live. They have him listed, and this is on Operation Sports. They have it. Clint Oldenburg is the gameplay producer, which we know. Sean Grady, executive producer. Connor, creative director. And just to put that in perspective, Rex was the creative director, gameplay director. So that's kind of showing you where he lines up now in the Madden world.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
And a decent number of the NBA Live guys work on Madden. That we're working on the live series, we're working on Madden. So so
we'll see what that team will look like with OG there.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm curious to know what OG.
We don't know. Look, we don't know his job title yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's creative director, but we don't know of what.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, okay. Okay.
I'm curious to know what
that
they
part
working
yet,
on.
but so I'm saying like he doesn't,
At Tiburon.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm saying. If
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark. I think it's NCAA.
could be.
Oh,
It sounds.
He does have a football background.
It sounds
a lot
crazy.
Of people don't know it, but
the only reason why I'm gonna say that is me personally, I don't think Live's coming back no time soon. I just feel that way.
Yeah, that
maybe, but I just don't. It ain't. I don't think we hear anything about it this year. And if that's the case,
that makes sense because you basically got the Live team working on Madden. NCAA ain't out.
We know it's coming. Yeah.
Oh, what's my man's name? The other cat that was working for 2K. The one brother, I forgot his name.
Jones.
Oh, Rob Jones.
Rob Jones. Yeah. He got OG to come over there.
Mm-hmm.
So he worked on Madden back then. So it's like, from Brett talking about it and everything. So he worked on Madden. So those dudes could be working on NCAA. And OG does have a big time football background. Like he has said he was like bigger. He was a more proficient football player than basketball player.
Yep.
So yeah,
I've seen this guy's. I've seen his highlight clips. Yeah, he's legit. So
unless EA came with the bag, wow. I'm trying to weigh all of the options.
Man, they ain't trying to pocket watch.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, why would you leave? Like, why would you leave 2K to work on Live? And unless you just wanted, to go to Florida. I don't know. I don't know the personal stuff.
Well, remember OG came over from Live originally. Because remember, they did all that whole
that's what I'm
saying
saying
for quite some time.
And I find it hard unless they really got something planned for Live that's so undercover.
I mean, they still hiring cats for Live. So I'm just saying
they might as well give it up, man. Just give it up, bro.
So I mean, they could be. He could be there for a lot. He could. You know what? Just like how Rex worked on Madden and NCAA, how he had to dose up. They could mess around and be working on Live and NCAA. It could be. I'm just saying.
We'll see.
But look. Both of these dudes, OG with his football acumen, Rob Jones with the hands-on experience with Madden, and 2K, OG with the 2K, all that, and you coming back, it could be for both, dude. They could easily be working on both franchises. Like we gonna pump NCAA right now. We pump it because that PGA Tour come out next year. So that NCAA. I don't think they gave a date to it, but EA said 2022, and the golf come out. So unless it was announced somewhere else, or unless EA said so, that game could be coming out next year. That NCAA, because they both announced within a similar time frame, both the NCAA and PGA Tour. So it's just a matter of where the projects are at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
I'm in favor of it. I mean, we'll see. I just don't know about Live. I just don't. I don't know, man. Live.
People
it's a curse. It's a curse on that franchise, man. Like
people are keeping Live 19 alive.
Oh, you come on, man! You kidding me? You kidding me? They trying hard, man. And I mean, look, there was some video, well, not video, but there were pictures of people in mocap suits doing a mocap session at EA, their basketball thing or whatever.
I did see that
recently. Yeah. But the thing, like I had said on Twitter about it, I was like, remember the last time we saw people in mocap suits for Live? It was for the mobile game, and we all was thinking it was console. So I'm just like, take it with a grain of salt.
ain't the last time we thought something was coming out console.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Oh,
We
no,
will
that
not
was-
speak that person's name ever again.
Ooh, yeah, that was oof. That was an
Thing I
Ocean
saw it
11
before
kind job right
Good
there,
thing
boy.
good thing I saw that before. Me and VF saw that before that announcement. Oh God.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But is it okay?
But all in all, man, as far as Madden, just real quick, I guess as we wrap up, I know some people are expecting. Let me just say it like this, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but like Smitty said, I love what guys, Angry Joe and others and people I love that what they do, but that's just not. It's just not the way that I deliver or give feedback. So if you're expecting it, I just don't do that. I mean, years ago, before we understood all of the processing of how games are built and how the company inner workings are, we may have had a different way that we approached it. But now that it's like you're never going to get that from me or us. And, we're going to critique the game. We're going to say what we don't like. We're going to say what they did well, what we want to see the next time. But that's about where it ends for me. I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't really care I don't care what everyone else thinks about the game. And let me frame that. People sending me messages, man, this game sucks. Okay. I mean, why do you have to tell me that? We can discuss it, but why do you guys still feel like you got to explain it? Okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not the governing body of the game. Like, now we can chop it up like we're doing tonight, but y'all know what I'm saying. Those people who are like, oh, no, this game sucks, and then F that game. All right. I don't care. Like, I don't care what everyone else feels. At this point, I try to play video games for enjoyment. I either like a game or I don't. And that's it. I'm always going to tell the truth. I'm always going to say what I don't like about Madden, what I need them to do better. But that's about where it ends for me, man. And at this day and age, I just don't roll like that. It's, what I'm saying? It's weird, man. It's weird because it's funny because I watch certain people that come in here on the show sometimes and certain people that always hit us up on Twitter. It's like they were waiting to just pounce. And I'm like, for what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? It shouldn't mean that much. That's all I'm saying. It shouldn't mean that much to anybody where say what you don't like and that's it. But like, to me, it's a different type of mentality if all you're waiting to do is to pick, destroy. Like, you might be more of a fan than the people who are actually fans. Like, cause you know what I mean? It's just weird, man. I don't know, maybe because all of us here have matured. We started this thing. My first video was in 2009.
Oh, God.
Right. That was a long time.
We grown men now, man. If y'all expecting that from me, and I'll even say us, that's just not how we do things. We're gonna critique. If it's bad, we're gonna say it's bad. But that's about it. I just want to say that early, now before the game even comes out. I'm not the channel if you're looking for that. I'm sure Smitty is not that guy. I know DJ is really not that guy anymore.
Don't come here.
It's just
ever.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't that important to me, man. I mean, I want a good game. I hope Madden gets it together. What we're hearing seems and looks promising, but we still got to see how it finishes.
Now look, check this out though, real quick, just to say this. Piggybacking off that, we just got done with E3. Just got done with it. You see all these games that are going to be coming out.
Battlefield.
You know what I'm saying? You got Battlefield coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
You got games like Deathloop coming out. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank just dropped. There's too many games. Canelo just got scanned. Okay? Dude, come on, man. So it's like, if Madden ain't hitting it, just like how DJ would play the game back then, he would play Madden for a little bit and he'd be like, man, it just ain't cutting it. I'm over here, though, playing this 2K, or I'm over there playing this NHL or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's it. That's it. It's just like, oh, you ain't messing with Madden? Nah. It ain't time to sit up here and be like, all right, the next 6-7 months, Viva la Revolution. No, it's like, man, it's not gonna do anything. So it's like, I'm going over here and I'm gonna play Battlefield. And
time out. Let me say this real quick. Ryan Taker, this is what kills me about people. I am not talking about Ryan Moody. No
one ain't talking about him.
No, see, y'all do this all the time. I am not. I don't deal with anything he's doing. I'm sure he doesn't deal with what I'm doing. I have no idea what Ryan Moody did or didn't do today. I had zero idea. I'm not talking about him. So let's just get that straight. I'm just talking in general. We don't operate that way, because I can show you DMs right now. People consistently, man, when you gonna win? I don't do that. That's not my thing.
like I just said, you can say Moody, you can say Angry Joe, all the subs he got.
Yeah, we need those guys.
He knows what's going on with the game. This dude is smart about the industry. He knows what's up. EA's profit margin for Madden have risen every year. This dude, they made this much money and they made 300 some odd million, 4 billion, this billion. Exactly. And you still did these rant videos and the profit margins are rising. So what? So if it's rising from him, what do you think it's going to do for Ryan Moody? See what I'm saying? So it's like, do you think?
I salute them. Let me be the first to say I salute all of that. You know why? Y'all want me to be honest with y'all?
Oh boy,
that's how they choose to entertain you.
Exactly.
It's just that simple.
Fine. And that's fine.
That's what they do. Channels have grown. They're making money.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
Paper. That's
why y'all remember I used to always say, "Why y'all still call my name, man? Like, do what you're doing. It don't." I'm happy for you, but it's all entertainment at the end of the day, folks. It really is.
Yeah.
You find a niche and you run with it. I will never knock anybody for doing that. Just do you. Just never worry about what I'm doing, what that guy's doing, what that guy's doing. And I'm not saying that anybody that we mentioned tonight is doing that, but y'all know there was a time when that was happening.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, but y'all always do this. They always come, you guys. They send me messages all the time. Man, you need to get so and so on. Why? Like, y'all already know the history there. I don't. Whatever, man. I'm not doing that no more. I'm too grown for that these days. I'm just not.
My advice to people is like, look. There's a door outside, like where if you look to your left, people sitting in the chat, people just happen to watch this, look to your left, right, wherever you're situated in your house, there's a door that leads outside. Go through it and experience life. Don't worry about these games. These will be here when you get back. Go out, run, lift weights, do push-ups, stop crying. Jeez.
Yeah, and just like my man said here in the chat, people have misconceptions, not just about him, but anybody. All these people play the game.
Yeah,
that's the funniest thing,
man. Yeah,
and most of us want the same thing. That's why I don't want to revisit history. I just never understood how it got the way it got amongst this community. I never understand how we got there. Everybody wants the same thing, but like I said, guys, come on, use your third eye. It's profitable to do the other.
Yeah.
Remember how perfect example. Remember how crazy some of them Sim Standard videos used to be when we were going off? We were ranting.
Oh, yeah.
I could easily do that.
You've changed. You've changed.
Dog, I could easily become the super rant guy right now. Watch my channel skyrocket.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not my form of entertainment. I don't do that. That's just not what I do. And so, perfect example. Shout outs to my good guy, Soft Drink Sports.
Yeah.
Y'all saw that long thing he put out there, and he said, this is what we're saying. I don't ever want to become, this ain't no disrespect, and if whoever hears this thinks I'm talking about them, whatever. I don't want to become a caricature of myself where I'm putting on an act. Like, oh, I got to be rant guy. And I'm just finding videos to rant about. And that's kind of, I think, sports, Soft Drink Sports burnt itself out. And I respect him for saying that. Even though I thought his videos were phenomenal. I loved his stuff. Because he did it with every game. It wasn't just Madden. He went in. Yeah. Great. But I think when you're not doing it from a space of that's what you really do and that's your real position, you're gonna burn out because now it becomes a job. It's not fun. Yeah.
He got
I do YouTube for fun. That's all I'm saying, folks.
The people funneled him in from because his first videos he was talking about like real world football, talking about players and stuff like that. He talked about various things, but then as soon as he did those few Madden videos, he got pigeonholed into literally that. No matter what, he could do a live documentary, a Tecmo Bowl documentary over here. It didn't matter. Hey, man, when you doing the next Madden? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all that it was. So he backed out. Yeah. And the thing was, he was winning. You know what I'm saying? He was like, nah, this ain't.
My man blew up.
Yeah. He like, I ain't trying to do it like this. He like, I'm going to start over again and do it a whole different way. And that's what's up.
You know,
that's what's up.
The most ridiculous thing I remember I experienced when I streamed one game, I think I was streaming like NHL or something like that. Somebody randomly in the chat talking about when you're gonna open Madden packs. I'm like, I'm playing NHL.
They won't let you put it down. That's the problem I have. My channel just that's why I say I do my stuff for the love, man. Because my channel will never grow because of anything I do that's not Madden. Well, the Steelers podcast gets some decent views, but anything I do that ain't Madden, nobody watches it. Channel is dead. Like I gets no views. It's weird. And I think maybe that's the YouTube algorithms, or it's weird. So, like I said, I've turned into that. I just do what I enjoy, man. Whatever subs I get and whatever money I make, great. I would love to grow, but it's like I just do it for fun.
Yeah.
You know
so
what?
I'm not gonna be that just to blow up on YouTube. That's just not me. I'm not that type of dude.
You know what? That actually reminds me. This is kind of like a memory lane. I remember when I got introduced to you guys. Do you guys remember the first thing I said about this whole YouTube thing? I don't care about the views. I'm not doing this for the views.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And it's just like that's the way, you know, ultimately it was just like, you know, when this thing died down and went the way it went, it was just like there's other things going on. So, you know, like I said, life, go through the door, open it. There's outside, there's cicadas, but they'll be gone in a few weeks. But yeah, you just have to go in with a positive. Yeah.
Hey, them joints is crazy in Maryland. I was down there a week ago. Lord have mercy.
I had at least 100 of them going to a game I was playing. And speaking of which, I have a triple header I got to play in on Sunday, Father's Day of all places. So, but yeah, just, you know, you go into something with, I would say, a minimalist mindset and just be positive about it and do what's true for you, not you know what is being thrown to you.
Right.
So
don't go chasing waterfalls, man. TLC told y'all that years ago.
Right.
Stick to what you used to, man. That applies to life. It won't just
No,
people always ask me that, man. Well, you know, what can I do to? I was like, look, don't worry about that. Like to me, I think, and I'm not trying to talk about myself, but I think my best content is just me being me. That's why I'm, you know, people on the Steelers podcast always say, man, we love how you, because that's just me. I'm not putting on a front. That's all I know how to do. I can't do the things that are not fun to me just to be a YouTube success. I can't. You can't fake it forever, you know, like. So, but like I said, I don't knock, you know, any of those dudes. That's their niche, and they great. Get your bread, and who am I? You know, I'm not mad at that. That's why I don't understand why people always want to compare. And what, man, you should do. No, let me do what I do. Let them do what they do. It's simple, you know.
First of all, you don't go telling what a black man should be doing anyway. So
right. Especially not the day before Juneteenth becomes a holiday. Thank you, Joe Biden. And listen, I'm not endorsing him, but thank you, sir, for allowing me to have a surprise day off.
And I'm not going.
We got the day off. I know. That's why I said I'm not endorsing him. Please, trust me. Don't even get us started on politics. But I got a surprise day off. Email comes out at 2:00. Our CEO says, "Oh, this has been passed, so we're off tomorrow." Great, thank you. But yeah, man, it's just video games, folks. That's all. That's all. And the game, to me, listen, if y'all really want to know how I feel, I haven't played it much, but I think we judge Madden more critically than we may other games because it's so far behind. And because of that, you guys are going to have to get to a point kind of where I could even throw DJ in this mix, even though, he wasn't technically a game changer. He's been doing this long enough to fall in this category. At this point, we know how long it kind of will take for Madden to get where we actually want it. It's going to take a while. So I keep telling y'all that year to year, you're not going to see these enormous leaps. It's almost impossible. If you think about all of the lists of stuff that we want from gameplay to franchise, stick around. It's going to be a few years. Now, if they continue to have, from what they did in franchise this year, let's say they do that amount next year in other areas. Now we cooking. And then they do the same amount the next year. That's all you can hope for in the game. You can't think, boom, Madden 22 is going to be the best game. No, it's no way possible that could happen that fast. This stuff has to be built upon. Think about how 2K built and built and built and built, and then they finally ballooned into My League. And all of that other stuff. It's gonna take a minute. And now I don't think it will take extremely long if the direction continues to be the same. If the higher ups have finally said, okay, Fixed Madden franchise scared us. We don't like that publicity. Let's stop faking it. And if the culture has changed, we in good hands now. But we're gonna have to watch it grow for a while. It's not gonna be overnight. That's just reality. That's not an excuse. That's because some people will say that, oh, there's no excuse. It is technically. Here's the excuse. They have been bugging out, not doing nothing for years. So even if they go balls to the wall, it's still gonna take time. That's simple development. That ain't me saying that. That ain't DJ. That ain't Smitty or Azure. That's logic. It's development. It's going to take a while to completely turn things around. They just have to, and what our responsibility is as a community, like we all did with Fixed Madden franchise, great job to all of us. We just got to keep holding them to the fire and make sure they keep going in this direction.
But I'm not a fan of the staff points. You know what I'm saying? I already think that's going to be a bit. I mean, I
want to see how that pans out.
Yeah, like I hope it's not a necessity like that. But if they try to make it some kind of necessity thing, like you ain't really going to be able to scout unless you get them points and do all like that, that's going to be a real problem because they tried that. Madden 10, I think that was, and nobody bought that stuff. So for you to go ahead and try it again now, I mean, I guess they're trying to say, hey, maybe second time's a charm because it's a different day and age for microtransactioning, which clearly it is. But on a franchise mode, though, when yours has been the most barren over all these years and nobody's done microtransactioning in theirs, but you're doing it, though.
Yeah, I hope they don't go that road.
But you know what? The sad part is people have gone public and said they are willing to do it. As soon as they start hearing those voices, that's when they start trying again. And I got blocked by a person that was advocating for that. And I was just like, no, you don't advocate for stuff like that. And you're a fairly popular channel. So, don't do that. No.
Yep. But yeah, man, I'm curious to know how you fellas feel and Azure if you're still here, just to chime in on shout outs to who is this that wrote this? Tony Chase. Shout outs to him. I get his sentiment, but he says the gray area pisses me off. I can't cut EA slack. I'm sorry. I get your sentiment, but what I'm saying is realistically, let's strip all of that aside. What do we expect to happen on a yearly basis? Like from Madden 22 to 23, how much do we really think the game changes in that amount of time? That's all I'm saying. We're not cutting them slack, but we all know that they have been slacking for years. This whole campaign last year was because they didn't do anything in franchise.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it's like some of us they actually seem to have delivered what they promised for 22. And now we're still kind of like, yeah, but they didn't do, but how did we think there was going to be more? How could you think there would be more? It wasn't even there. That's all I'm saying. I'm more of a realist when it comes to that. Let's still get on them and complain, but I'm saying, what was you guys expecting? It couldn't be. I didn't think they was going to do all of the stuff on that list. That's why I kept saying it for the last few weeks. Like, man, I just want to see if they at least going to do that. I didn't think they would, because we know EA is known for giving them a feature or two, like give them, and then we'll tell them we're still working. But they kind of came through, and I'm really curious. I really want to see this scouting thing, though. I can't wait till that's in the game, because it's supposed to be an overhaul, and it reads well. Let me see. Let me read that real quick, and then I want to get you guys' thoughts on that overall point I just made here. Where is it?
It's in the game. What, gameplay?
I think it's under the here we go. I'm gonna read the one from Operation Sports, and they apparently they had what they're calling hands-off preview. It was a presentation. It says, lastly, scouting in Madden 22 has been completely revamped, and rightfully so, as this was a highly requested improvement from the community. We all know that. All of us agree with that. Scouting in Madden 22 will be about assignments, and those scouting assignments will be allocated to an all-new scouting staff. Whoa. I don't even think I read that part.
NHL has something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's an NHL feature. So they are definitely looking at NHL as far as scouting is concerned, because NHL has got a really good scouting feature in their game.
And we're gonna I definitely want DJ to expound on that. And it says here again, assignments will be allocated to an all-new scouting staff that will hit the road on both a national and regional level.
Yep.
The system will now include much deeper options to discover details never before available in Madden. Based on the information that is gathered, players will move up and down the big board on the details discovered during scouting. This new scouting system will be made available in early September as part of the Madden's live service update, so we'll have to wait a bit for that. Now, to me, that sounds like a complete overhaul. It's not in the game yet, because I already checked. It's not in the game yet. So, my question is, again, to everybody else, outside of these bullet points that they highlighted last year for franchise, could we have expected more? And if so, what else did you expect? But definitely, DJ, when we come to you, Smitty, go ahead now, but we'll throw it to DJ after that. I don't know if Azure is still here. If you are Azure, you can jump in. Let me know, man. What are your thoughts on that, Smitty?
I mean, that sounds great.
It sounds great.
I wish that was something we could test right now.
Oh man,
to some kind of capacity. That would be amazing to do. Look, the fact that we're even playing franchise aspects, you know what I'm saying? When we weren't even, I don't think we've ever been able to do that in a demo or even beta. That's amazing.
I
snuck in it last year. Just like before it was even available,
yeah.
remember?
yeah.
I was like,
that part, right?
They're playing with every team.
Yeah. Well, I say intentionally built in it.
It was
But I mean, no, I mean, it sounds great. It looks like they're making it a bit dynamic. See, it could be like, now my thing is it possibly tied to scenario engine kind of stuff, or is this just going to be a complete sidebar thing outside of scenario engine stuff? Because scenario engine isn't exactly, that great.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if scenarios do play a role, they're much better, and they go along with the situation instead of trying to be a more of a force-fed, you got to answer this question, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's like, no. Let everything flow organically, and then if you have a storyline or whatever that meshes everything together, then cool. Make your own dynamic kind of thing happen. Otherwise, though, like, no, from what they're saying regarding the franchise mode, like, I definitely like it. So I'll just say that, and I mean, I'll throw the DJ because he's got the more knowledge with, the NHL experience like that and how it correlates. So how hopefully it'll correlate in Madden.
Yeah, it seems like it would. Just thinking about it with NHL, you start out your franchise mode. You have your positions, your scouting staff already assembled with, I think, 2 slots remaining. You can hire. I think you can hire up to 10, but you start off with 8 already filled, and they fulfill different regions, different. And since NHL has a minor league system, you have minor league scouts, so you can scout prospects. You can scout other teams in both the minor and major leagues. And let's see. You also have scouting, and that will take place in the course of a season. You give them assignments based on their traits. They have, like, if they're better suited for international, because you can scout on an international and domestic level. So if they have a good trait with forwards, then you want that staff member to scout forwards. And if they have a specialty, you can send them off for a month in Russia scouting forwards in their league. And vice versa with other leagues. Like, you can send a guy to Canada and have him scout goaltenders in Canada. Now, it's funny because I mentioned NHL, but MLB also has something that I think will be closely relatable to what Madden is trying to put out, because we're just focusing on prospects here. Because from watching you guys and talking with NYK and everybody, even Bills, shout out to him, and just knowing that if you have guys who specialize in particular regions, that will play a factor. That could play a factor. I'm not going to say it will because I don't know, but it could play a factor as far as finding prospects that either are already existing or you happen to discover. I think in NHL, you don't really discover prospects, like pull them out of thin air. In MLB, you actually do. They actually let you know, hey, this is a new prospect that we just discovered. It wasn't already on the list. So you're looking at potentially what that has to offer. And then you have to make sure that your scouts are skilled in certain positions that you're looking for. Specialize in the region. Even though you can take them and put them in a different region, but they probably won't be as effective. NHL, going back to NHL, they have an accuracy rating on the scouting reports that you get. So depending on the skill of your scout, your staff member, that person may not be totally accurate in their reporting. So you have to wonder, okay, and you get suggestions of, like, is this a good person to pick for your squad? Because that's going to tie back into your team scheme fits and stuff like that, which, Madden has scheme fits, but NHL has line chemistry, coaching carousel has the scheme fits, all details. So that's all going to tie in. But ultimately, the scouting is, I think, is going to be in more of a MLB to show format. But with NHL being right there, I think it could get to the point of where NHL is.
Very interesting, man. I can't wait to see it. Azure, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, man, I'll wait a second, see if you jump in. I don't think so. I know he was in the car. I I'll ask you guys this question too, and then we can wrap after that. Got to use my words carefully here because people are going to say, "Oh no, that's not enough." But
in YouTube, you can clip it now. So
yeah. Well, clip this. I don't care. I don't care. If all of the stuff that we know about franchise mode is implemented, which obviously it should be, but it works fairly decent, or let's say it works greatly. Is that enough? Has that restored any faith in the fact that maybe Madden is taking a turn? And I guess I'll give my thoughts first. I would say yes from this side of things. And I kind of said it last week, but I definitely want to say it here with DJ being here. And Azure, if Azure is still here, I see his name twice, so I'm going to add both of his names here. And Azure, definitely jump in after me if you're here. This is something that Azure has talked about forever, as well as us. We have to get the boardroom. Those people have to change in order for the game to go wherever any of us wanted to go in terms of realism, simulation. No disrespect to any other crowd, but I'm talking to my sim heads. In order for us to get a more authentic simulation style game on and off the field, the those people have to change route. And I said last week to Smitty, hey man, if they actually deliver on this stuff that Grady had to come out and apologize for, and they put a special blog out, never had they ever told us what was coming, and they committed to those things. And I said, if they deliver on that stuff, I'm looking at this from a different side now because we've never seen that. We've been going there for years, and we leave out of there sometimes extremely pissed off because we're sitting there telling them, man, y'all asking us for feedback every year, and it's the same. keep the whiteboard. Keep that same whiteboard that y'all asked us 3 years ago, and I guarantee you 90% of that stuff is still there.
Shout out to Mark.
Yeah, man. It's like, remember when I said the Deuce Douglas list?
Oh, yup, we did.
You don't have to ask me about any other feedback until that entire. I don't know how long it takes, but I'm saying until that entire list is in game, there's nothing else I could give you. And that's kind of how we felt all of these years. Every year we go down there. Sam, Smitty, Azure, Shop, Mad Side, all of these other guys, Mark Rollins, mad people, man. You know, I can't say everybody's name, but y'all know who y'all are. Bobby, Ronnie, and Sean. I mean, so many people. And we're in there just ticked off every year, like, dog, it's the same stuff. It's the same stuff. And then finally, we started seeing some things start to happen very slowly. So again, to sum up my point, I told Smitty and I told you guys on the show, if they deliver the franchise features that the executive team were stunned about because it trended on Twitter, number one, that woke up some people. And I said, yo, this might be a sign. They've done it. Now, it's up to us to keep our foot on their neck. But now I'm looking at this a little differently. Like, hold on now. This could be the change. Sometimes all it takes is a shakeup. Maybe the execs didn't know. They didn't know that we could make noise like that. We, the whole pissed off Madden community, maybe they didn't know because they making so much money. But it's funny, this thing called Twitter, a whole lot of y'all better believe the NFL saw that. You better believe that.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of makes me approach Madden a little differently, even knowing all the stuff that we still need in the game. But at least I can speak for myself, Smitty and Azure, from guys who've been in there. To see this happen, something changed in that building. I don't know what, but something may have changed with the governing body of Madden. So we'll see. But hold on. He says, I'm in the backstage. All right, cool. But go ahead, Smitty. What's your thoughts on that, man?
All right. No, I mean, hey, I like what they, I can appreciate what they're trying to do here. The thing is this going to be a consistent thing? Like, I think it said in one of the articles or whatever that, you know, like, I don't know. I'll have to go through and read the articles and see, like, is this a one-trick pony? Like, is it, because the key thing they were saying, like, hey, no, this is ongoing, and this is going to be something we're going to continuously build upon, and we're going to do this, we're going to do and do and do. So the thing is, if this honestly is something that's going to be ongoing, then that's why I expect to see a lot of 1.0s and I expect to see a lot of 2.0s and stuff like that, and 3.0s, and things just evolve to a point where you don't even say it. It's not even a 0.0 anymore. It's just something you're doing. You're just continuously building on it.
Right.
You know, and I mean, and that's like, you know, you got to shout out to my man Mark, dog, because I swear, my man literally pounded the table when we was in there. Man, I told y'all already.
Man. Yo.
Man. Like, I told y'all.
Y'all have no idea the stuff that we've seen, man. You know,
I'm sorry,
but you know what they told us, Smitty, that, you know, we don't get no real feedback in there. We go in there and turn into buddy, and I'm like, man, y'all have no idea.
Yeah, man, we just go down there for the trip. Like, my man banged the table literally. Like, he was like mad because
them suits hate us.
They literally had. He was in an event. Just the backdrop of it. He was at an event before where they literally flew them to Texas to go, you know, talk about CFM stuff. And it's like they gave them the feedback. And this was like, what, Madden 13? So it's like they gave them the information.
Me too.
Long before.
What year was that, man?
Yeah, remember when some of them went there and then we went to Florida? You, me, and Azure and Mo went to
I'm trying
Florida.
to think of what year that was when I went to Austin.
No, that was Madden 25. I'm sorry. That was 25 when they went to Texas. We went to Florida. And
real quick before I forget, and I'm coming right back to Smitty. Remember I told you guys when features start coming out that was already talked about, I was going to tell y'all? Let me tell you. I'm trying to remember which year it was. It was whatever year I met old boy from Madden Bomber, our guy, you know, what's my man's name?
Oh, Madden Bomber?
No, not Bomber. The commentator, Nick. Yeah. We were at this event together. I want to say it was for Madden. Which one was it? Was it 19 or 18? Anyway, that year, a dev who will remain nameless tells me, Sim, I had offensive, defensive coordinators ready to go. They got cut.
Oh.
Think about what I just said, guys. We talking at least 3 games ago. That's one of them.
Yeah.
That's one of the, and it's others. It is others. Trust me, that I still ain't seen in the game yet. That just goes to show y'all. I had to say that, and I don't want to get Smitty off his point, but I had to say that because I told y'all I would start doing this as these things unfold, so you can say, "Dang, maybe he's right about the devs." Came to me with the sad face, man. And mind you, we were at a franchise event, and when Smitty said it, Austin, it made me remember that the man had it ready to go. Then had the prototype and everything. Carry on.
See, that's long. That's the stuff. Those are the kind of things we're talking about. That's why when I sit up here and say they got to be allowed to do stuff.
Yeah,
this is where we're coming from. Like, because there's things like Sim said. There's stuff that was supposed to be in the game that didn't make it, that we may have saw and didn't make it. There's stuff we played back on PS3 and Xbox 360 days that was supposed to make it and still ain't made it. Was cut and never to be brought back again. Stuff that would be very, very helpful. I can only imagine a 2.0 or a 3.0 of some of certain things that we had to play. So you see what You see what I mean? So I laugh at it, but it's like, yeah, I understand. These guys are only able to do so much. So it's like, hey, look, at the end of the day, when people come in, not yet, baby, not yet, honey.
But
When
it's
people
true
come
every
in,
year, Luke. It's true every year. I just had to jump in and say that.
Yeah, no, go ahead. It's cool. No,
it's true every year. I don't get it.
This is the machine. This is how it goes. That's it. This is how the machine works. It sucks, but this is how the machine works.
How it works.
So that's why we have the understanding. Hold on, honey. That's why we have the understanding we have regarding the game and why it is the way it is. You're not going to see us pump fists in anger because we understand.
We understand.
If they can build a 2.0 of the injury system, like DJ hinted on earlier, if they can build a coaching carousel out and do something with that, if they can make the stadium atmosphere be brighter next year, whatever. It's like if they can do it, but if they're allowed to do it, they got to be allowed to. At the end of the day, they're smart. Sim and I have said it a trillion times here. These dudes can do stuff way better than anything any of us could possibly think of. But they have bosses that say, well, this is the budget. If you could do it within the budget, then do it. If you can't, then you got to settle for this little bit over here and make do with it. But then it's like I'm doing the same thing. Oh, well, put some new words in there and say something brand new was done. Technically, we could sell that. You see what I mean? So it's like, get with marketing and see what they got to say about it. You see what I mean? That's the machine.
That's how I go.
Yeah. That's the machine. It ain't ran by us.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Up close and personal where the devs be like, man, the marketing ain't going. Listen, man, some of the devs have taken us behind the curtain, like, and showed us like a deck of stuff that, look, this is on all of this has been on our list to do for the last 4 years. And we've had wow moments like, whoa, wow. You like, yeah, we've been wanting to do this. But the buzzword that they use in that building a lot, priority. That ain't the dev. That ain't coming from them. That's coming from they have a production meeting every year. They present, this is what we want to do. The big boys say, okay, we will allow you to do that.
And that's corporate.
That ain't as important. We got to do this.
Yeah, go ahead, AZ. Tell them.
That's just corporate America.
You the main one telling it. Go ahead, AZ. You've been the main one that said it since 2011. Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah.
I've stated this. Go back and look at the Sim Standard Radio channel from when we first went down there. It's the same. It's the same. And that's you expected something different out of a gaming company, but what is it? A company. So it's going to be run like one.
Yeah.
So until you get somebody up there, like I said, my hope, and he's not even with EA anymore, was Marcus Frisky to get up in the suits realm and control it from there. And he's not even at EA anymore. Because we needed a gamer that could penetrate the ceiling that we couldn't get past. Once I saw it was a ceiling that the game changers would hit, I was done. They don't even talk to me anymore. I've been excommunicated. So
that's when the rah-rah stopped, in case y'all wondering. Azure just told the secret. That's when we stopped being so rah-rah. It's pointless. Just give your feedback. That's it.
Roller deck. We saw a roller deck. They took us behind the scenes, which they probably should have never done, and said, here's the things that we've been trying to do. And we just sat there like, okay, this is futile. And so we started banging the table. And I said years ago, probably 6 years ago, that I wanted a seat at the table with the suits.
Yep.
You don't have that seat, nothing you do matters. Now, unless you, even the flame that we stroked up on Twitter, that can only go so far because the suits still control it. The suits saw that flame, was like, okay, let's handle that before it gets out of control. But what's going to happen this year? What if you satisfied everybody's palate? Do they go back to being regular?
Right.
So are people gonna beat the table about gameplay? How many 757 NY Key is gonna get on the table and beat it up about coverage? Not as many as people beat it up about franchise. So are they really gonna fix it? So here we go. The machine has started back again.
Yep.
So enjoy being a cog in this machine until we get another company. I hate it. I'm sorry to tell you. This is the way of the world. It's not on EA. Go get your corporate job and think you should change something. Go to Nabisco. Go to Frito-Lay. Think you about to change the shape of a chip. No, bro, it don't happen like that.
Hey, dude's on the assembly line talking about something. We about to switch it up. Like,
I'm gonna make this Dorito square. You know what? We should have square Doritos. No, not on the assembly line. You're not gonna get it.
That's a fact, man.
There you
Come
go,
on, man. Oh man,
Man,
I just needed
like
somebody
that,
else
man.
to say it, man, because I swear, y'all
saying it, but
y'all run with us and love us so much, but just don't listen to nothing we say. It's crazy to me, man. We have no stake in this.
yeah.
And I told y'all we haven't been in there in a few years. Like and even when we were there was no stake. The only thing that was in play that some of y'all think was a $60 game. And if y'all really think that lowly of us, that we would sell our soul for a free game when we buy all of these, that's the craziest thing. I buy every other video game that I own.
God.
So I'm just going, I'm going to wear the EA badge just so I can get a free Madden. The
All
game
these
that we
purchases.
beat up the most. That boy, I never understood that logic.
All these
I don't know.
games.
All these games. Yeah, I just showed you. I got a series, and this ain't bragging or nothing. A Series S and a PS5, but I'm gonna save face so I can, tap dance for Madden. Come on, man. It don't make sense.
Yeah,
Listen to us. We've been in the building. We telling y'all the truth, man. The truth. That nobody, and I'm not even trying to gloat or nothing here, but this is a fact. We tell y'all stuff that nobody else on the internet can tell you about Madden because they ain't willing to do it. You got some of them dudes. Go ahead, AZ.
A while ago, and I think this is the first time I said it in public. The dude who made ESPN NFL 2K5, the guy that's responsible for the engine, is still walking around 2K. I was told that from a very reliable source. He's still alive. He still exists. So if you want to do your research, find out who that person is and get him where he needs to be. Because it's rumblings that ESPN wants to make a game. They want to get back into the fray of things. Maybe this is their opportunity. And we've said this before. Sim was one of the ones that I remember saying it so heavily. Nobody's finna come out the first year out the gate and beat what they have rolling at EA.
It ain't happening.
Nobody. Unless you 2K and you have that one guy who has that engine. And even in that engine's so outdated, even though it does wonderful things, it's outdated. It might not even run on the next generation console. So listen to us. We've been saying this, and we've been in the building, like Sim said. We giving y'all the real. We're giving y'all behind the scenes. It doesn't get much more real than what I just said. It's not us.
Yeah, it's like my man just said here. Not to put you on shine or anything, but I got to show it because this is a fact. He said he ain't gonna lie. When we joined the Game Changers back in the day, he thought we joined the Illuminati. I'm telling you, so many people did. They sold out, and we used to laugh to ourselves like, sold out what? We just consumers.
We in the game of Illuminati.
Hey,
we are consumers that started a channel to get a game better, and the people that made the game said, "Look, why don't we let y'all come down and see what's really happening?" Who ain't gonna take that opportunity?
Right. That's the point.
But
for them to hear it.
But here's the thing: the piggyback on what Azure was saying, that was a part of the cog too. Because a lot of us felt like the way to silence us was to have people like us there. And once again, it's like, what could you really change?
And then we didn't even realize we were in that matrix till about year 3.
Right.
And I looked up and I was like, yo, it's not getting better, dog. So we really into it. So
we see Azure was the first to go down there. Came back. When Sim and I went down there, I was like, folk gonna clown us. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, folk gonna go crazy because everything that they were explaining and breaking down to us. See, we had a different mind frame of like, we gonna go down there with this feedback. We gonna hit them with these points. Something gonna change, and then it was like they shown us how it works. So when we be like, so can you change this? And Sim was asking a lot of questions like that. Yo, what about changing this? What about making this animatrix? Well, see, we could do that, but
no,
see, then this goes wrong.
I don't see nothing when I go there. Smitty lying to y'all. I'm a good old boy when I go down there. That's what they say. I ain't ask no questions.
So no, they shown us how intricate the system is. So that's why it's like they can only go but so far with stuff. And it's like, once we add these different, like when we were playing 13 and it didn't even have you heard the crowd noise, but you didn't literally have the stadium there. And we're like, yo, look at the way the game plays here. And then they're like, yeah, we still got to add everything else to it. I'm like, man, but is the gameplay going to take a hit, though, from it? And they're like, well, we'll try to keep it together. And it's just like the game, it wasn't the same experience because they didn't have as much like memory left on disc when you put everything together. We played it in more like a compartment. So see that, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, no wonder why when it came to Game Changers saying stuff that they would hold us back, or people would say, yo, this game's amazing. It's like, yeah, because we're playing the game in a certain state. It's not even a complete version of it, and everything's not done to it yet or added in accordingly. We're not playing a finished product yet. So that's why when we started learning how things tick, we was like, oh man, yeah, this is a. Now I fully understood why Shotmaster responds the way he did, and everybody else, like why they all were sounding like, dang, it's like y'all just bought in. It's like, well, yeah, because they got educated. Once you got educated and you see how it is, what you gonna scream and yell at? Like you can't rant about it no more, because if you rant and then you're gonna sound stupid because you just sat in front of these dudes and they verbatim explained it to you. And had you put your hands on it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, man,
listen, we've been at EA Play where, and this guy I don't think is there no more either, but we've referenced his name before. Executive. I'll never forget this. We there, and we knew well before this, but we're there, and the gameplay seems to be good. The coverage is people out there in line. If you ever been to EA Play, you were in line waiting to get your chance to demo the game. They throw in so many interceptions. I will never forget it. Rex, if I'm saying too much, which I know I'm not, I'm sorry. But I'll never forget when Rex came in there behind the scenes and told us, we're going to have to dial it back. And we all was like, for what? Hey, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So else. They don't like the way people reacted. I'm like, bro, stop. First of all, this is a demo. It's a new game. But the executive who told me and Smitty multiple times, no, we're dedicated to keeping everything. No, you didn't, because you first one complaining. I don't like the way people are complaining. Maybe we're going to have to. Those are the type things that happen. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, why are we giving EA an excuse? I'm not giving them an excuse. That's just the way those execs choose to run that company. We're fortunate that 2K has always prided themselves on details. Thank God for that, because maybe they could have been the company that it just so happens that something happens to the leadership at Tiburon. I don't know why. It's Tiburon. It ain't EA Canada. It ain't DICE, which is not really EA, but it's weird, man. No, it won't Andrew Wilson. It wasn't him.
Yeah,
it was another guy. It was the guy that used to be the head coach for the Patriots. That's a puzzle.
Roy.
That's what. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Mr. Roy himself.
All right. Okay.
And I won't say his last name just out of respect, but I'll never forget it. I'm sitting there like, are you serious? Yeah, we're going to have to dial it back. Oh, and how about this, Smitty or Azure or both of y'all? I know one of y'all was there that time when they had QB inaccuracies. When they first put that in, and what did Rex tell us? We're going to have to turn that down.
Yeah, that was Madden 15.
Upstairs, people complaining.
Yeah. No, hey, look. We knew
corporate America, baby.
Hey, we knew what time it was when they had that NCAA 14 tournament, and we walked in there and saw that. When we saw them make that ridiculous plays and everything. Me, Sim, and Azure all looked at each other, and we looked at Rex and got right up and walked out of there. Like, nah, man, let's go back. You're saying this ain't it. It looked like it just looked very cheesy. It was some cheesy play. And Neezus was like, oh, that was the sweetest thing ever and all that. We like, are you kidding me? That don't happen in football? Like, oh, no, man, we out, dude. Come on.
They made NCAA look trash.
It looked terrible on that.
We looking at that, and I'm like, Smitty. I tapped Smitty. I said, all those people that try to tell us how great the gameplay is in NCAA, if they could see what we're looking at, oh my goodness. Sometimes I wish I didn't know all of this. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the days of me just waiting to see because when you know the know, it's like like Smitty. When you educated, it's like I'm wasting my breath. And then the 3 people that I met when I first went down there let me know, oh, it ain't them. There's Scanterbury, A-Dub, and this giant mammoth of a human being named Clint Odenberg. When I saw that dude walk in the room, I said, oh, they know football. It was no question in my mind. Oh, yeah, this guy knows what should be happening on the offensive line. That whole notion of the people at EA don't know football, that completely went out the door when I met those 3 individuals and had a conversation. I knew right then, oh, it's above this. So they brought us here to kind of give them feedback on what they're already doing, not so much what they can learn from us. That is a fact.
Yeah.
We didn't go down there and show them nothing. Even Rex played college ball.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go down there and show them and tell them anything about football that they didn't know. I want everybody to clip that. We never went down there and
they
made them. My bad. Go ahead, Zor.
Not only that, they bring in coaches, NFL coaches. And if you sitting on YouTube and you know more than these NFL coaches, then go on down there and design the game.
Didn't somebody try that was commentating and never was seen again?
I mean, he
admitted that they should be able to get it. From what I heard, he was quieter than the church mouse.
Hey, man. We'll go on past that.
It ain't dirt, but it's just like, I mean, you're supposed to be there and soak up. Not you. If you're gonna sit there and try and tell them how to do their job, they're gonna fall back and be like, I would love to sit there. The feedback day, the last day when they go over feedback. Oh, I would love to sit right there and watch, educate everybody with the dev teams, some of them executive cats in there too. I'd sit right there and watch. I'm like, go ahead. You said you posted that on the board. I want to see what you got to say. Teach all these dudes how it's supposed to be. Like, you're gonna sit there and learn and observe what's going on because that's it. There ain't nothing you're gonna show them. You'll find that out in 5 minutes. That's why Sim, like he said, scant wealth of knowledge from him, and he's just one. Clint, come on, you know what I'm saying? And A-Dub, come on, man. And I mean, you've heard Sim's done the interviews with these guys. You've heard these guys already. The reality is, like I said, and I've been saying it before, and all that stuff. It's what they are. They get permission to do, regardless. Clint could get 20 promotions unless he all of a sudden outranks Andrew Wilson. Nah, that he's still got to answer to somebody else, and they'll say, "Hey, this is what you get to work with, and this is what you're going to be able to do." And if you want to go higher than that, you got to challenge me for my position, and I ain't giving it to you. So you're going to do this, and that's it. But dude's got all the knowledge in the world to make the game the way that we would want it to be made. Trust. There's stuff that A-Dub has said when going to Frostbite, stuff they be able to do still ain't there yet. And this was like what, man, when we were down there for Madden 16 at the time, still not there. These guys know what to do, man. That's why when we see these dudes able to take an inch, all right, bet. I'm not about to say, let's see if they could go a mile now. No, let's see if they could take another inch. You know what I'm saying? We gotta cross our fingers and toes and all that stuff to see if they keep this consistent energy up for Madden 23 even. We may not see franchise move much, the needle move much next year. I don't know. So we'll just got to stay tuned and play the game for what it is. Take it for what it is. Shoot.
I'll say this. Remember somebody in the community in the past, complaining about the devs so much they threatened to drop kick one of them?
Oh man,
I have not heard anybody threaten to drop kick an exec. They're the ones that are in control. Drop kick them. You're more likely to be successful than the ones that are on the dev team.
I don't know. I don't know if you can be successful there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Super kicks up there.
These cats, yeah, I'm like, I don't know, man. These cats.
You can blindly super kick somebody and get away with it.
They not drop kicking.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We already went through that part.
They definitely listen. Let me tell you something. Y'all ain't doing none of that to Scandalberry.
Right. Oh,
I'm just
that
saying,
was the main one I heard.
Nah. Yeah, and y'all better be glad he didn't know that, because he's one of them.
It was a small dude. It was a small dude that said it too.
He is he knows how to be corporate, but I would like to remind everybody that Scandalberry is from East New York, and he wears that. Like, he is every bit of what you might or might not know. Some of y'all don't know, but
hey, when
you don't want to play them games, and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
On top of that,
when I heard the click clack, that's when I was like, okay, he's one of them guys. All right.
It's like, my Timberlands can travel. They don't just stay in New York.
Yeah, nah. Him, nah. You want him as your friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot. So,
but yeah, man. Man, it's 10:45. As you guys can see here by my compadre, I gotta run. So
what up?
I think this was a great show, man. Great show. I don't know what else to say other than I'll throw it to DJ and Smitty. Y'all got any last things to? I will say one last thing is, at the end of the day, we're not trying to tell you to hate, love the game, nothing like that. My approach is always just telling y'all what it is. Like, if you approach Madden like that, I think you'll see it better, whether you like it or hate it. If you know the intent behind it and how the structure is, I think that'll help you deal with it better. That's it. That's my only purpose here is to educate you guys as far as what's going on. So you don't have to be so disappointed and all of this and this and that. If you hate the game and it hasn't changed the way you want it to change, we're telling you why that is. If you feel like, hey man, Sam, I kind of like what they did this year, how long do you think it's going to be? It's going to be a minute because they are behind. So in order for us to think about the stuff that you guys still want in franchise that isn't coming in 22. That's at least 2-3 more cycles potentially.
Easy.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like it's sometimes people try to label it as excuses. No, these are realities. Because I mean, listen, I was highly disappointed. This ain't even franchise. DJ talked about it earlier. The presentation, man. Didn't I say that weeks ago, Smitty? I want to see a next gen presentation package. Yeah. And that ain't even happened yet. And I'm like, see, it's multiple things past the mechanics. I mean, it's so many things left to do. It ain't gonna be done in just a blink of an eye. So all we can hope for is that they continue to go on the upward path, man. And if they don't, let's get our foots on their neck again. That's all we can do, man, as consumers. Honestly, that's it. But don't beat yourself up about Madden. If it ain't it ain't it. Play other games. It's a lot of stuff to do other than playing Madden. And I know, coming from a football guy, I know your pain. It's the reason why I even play it the times I do play it, because I'm a football dude. But what we gonna do?
Right.
What are we gonna do? So that's all I got. But you guys, man, go ahead and close us out so I can run.
All right. Go ahead, DJ.
Ready. All right. Well, it was nice being on the show. Thanks for having me on again, Sim and Smitty and Azure. I know you're somewhere. And shout out to everybody in the chat.
No doubt.
And so
he likes Detroit.
Oh, he's talking about your jerseys.
Yeah, he want to say where's the Steelers. I'm like, he's not a Steelers fan. He's not a Steelers fan. Smitty likes the Lions.
And then
why are you on this?
Oh, this ain't the Steelers show.
Yeah,
this ain't the Steelers. Okay,
wait a minute, that could be aimed to me.
Yeah, see his teams back there. He likes Washington.
But here's the thing, little Sim.
We'll beat you.
If you like other teams outside of Pittsburgh, you win a championship. Other than the Penguins, the
we can't really say that.
Anybody? So
last year we lost to DJ's team. Washington came to Pittsburgh and took care of business.
Yes.
But this is not the Steelers show. This is the gaming show. You're thinking about Tuesday night.
Stupid team.
Hey, we ended the Steelers season basically.
This little dude crazy, man.
But yeah,
hush. All right, go ahead, DJ.
So hopefully everybody gets to celebrate Juneteenth, federal holiday now. I got a football game on Sunday, possibly 3 games, hopefully to win the championship. So that's why the hat's on. So hopefully some good luck there. And just to let you guys know, just if I can do a quick plug real quick.
Go ahead.
My podcast, because I don't know what's going on with First and Frame Rates. My podcast, WTF, just happened. Right now, I'm in the middle of a season break. Ended season 3 just 2 weeks ago. Well, a week and some time ago. Season 4 will debut on Friday, July 9th. So be on the lookout for that. That will be a YouTube-only podcast from here on out. So guys, check me out there. DJ81 is the name on the YouTube, and I hope to see some of you guys there. But yeah, it was a good night talking about Madden and just getting reacquainted with everybody once again, because I haven't been on here in a while, and it was nice to just finally just catch up.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
happy to have you.
Oh yeah,
you got Smitty.
But man, look, like Sim said, we talking about over 10 years worth of stagnant development regarding Madden, and it's not going to be overcame in 1 or 2 cycles. So it took 2K. When you look at NBA 2K and you look at the great stuff you like about that game, or NHL, FIFA, whatever your favorite sports game is, it took them at least you're talking about a good 5-6 years of consistent development on that track to get that mode or get that aspect of that mode or gameplay or whatever to where it's at. EA is going to have to do the same thing regarding Madden. So while they got 1.0s and 2.0s, it's going to have to be a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. That kind of stuff is going to have to happen in order for Madden to really come up. to put themselves in that stratosphere of, okay, now they're in the realm of the FIFAs with their career mode, the PESs, the NHLs, the NBA 2Ks, and the MLB The Shows. That's what they're going to have to do. So just understand that. Like Sim says, like what I'm saying, we may not have been to the studio for multiple years, but at the same time, the information we're telling y'all, this is how it works in their industry. This is how the cyclical development cycle is, especially for a yearly game like a Madden, that comes out every year. This is the way it is. Now, maybe next year we'll see what happens with not NBA, with NFL 2K, because they will have a game made. It was set on SGO. The reason why they didn't have their game come out was because they were going to drop it in December, and the NFL wanted it to come out before the season started. So that's why the game was delayed, according to what Mike Straw said at SGO. Shout out to them. So we'll see what happens come next year. Maybe Madden will continue to get pushed by their game. We don't even know, because it's supposed to be a non-sim game anyway. We'll see what ends up happening with that. But I will say once again, as far as this game right here with Madden, I'm impressed. I am happy to see them make those proper strides. We just got to see how is the gameplay once it launches going to sustain alongside with the franchise mode and the improvements within. Is it going to be enough to honestly be, a fruitful enough game to really enjoy experience-wise, or is it just going to be a short-lived experience? And if so, we got a plethora of other games to play. Like I said earlier, I'm saying ESBC, NHL, NBA 2K. You got choices, so don't gridlock yourself.
22nd.
Yeah. Right. See, Battlefield, you know what I'm saying? Of course.
Whether Madden is a hit or not.
Right.
October 22nd.
You're going to get wrapped up in a tornado
Man.
that game.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, there you have it. It's as simple as that, man. Just play the games. You enjoy the games. If you're not enjoying it, leave it alone. Play something else. Don't stay, don't be like dog chasing its own tail, man. It ain't that serious. So,
yeah. But be that ex-girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Don't do that.
We can't hear you.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Just give your feedback. That's all. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live. I'm just saying it'll be easier to stomach if you understand where it comes from. Boom. Try to enjoy it the best you can. Enjoy it for those of you guys who like it. And, to each his own, and keep giving your feedback, but that's it. Don't let it burden you, because at one time, and it actually still seems like it's like that. Twitter all day, every day is Madden, and I'm like, how could y'all keep this up every day? It's a little crazy. But all right, guys, I'm going to run, and we appreciate DJ coming through tonight. We definitely appreciate Azure coming back into the fold, and of course, always appreciate my partner in crime, Smitty. So hope everybody has a great night. Happy Juneteenth to my people. Be safe. God bless. Good night. In my best Russell Simmons impression.
Happy Father's Day.
Look at that.
Well,
Go ahead, little player.
There we go.
Happy Father's Day. All right, guys. Catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.